futures set to meet today in a rivalry that started 127 years ago. And today, a star from yesteryear leads the Walk of Champions and then has his number 10 retired right next to his daddy's number 18. Two of the many that have made so many memorable moments over the years between LSU and Ole Miss.
It's goosebump time in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss against LSU.
Manning to throw, lost it over the middle, touchdown!
This is the place to be in college football right now.
Let's go, right here, touchdown! I love this team, what? Jeray Jenkins, touchdown! Tigers win.
This stadium is loud.
Wide open touchdown. Ole Miss. He is showing some speed.
Corral.
He stretches for the end zone. The Rebels win.
And with that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Oxford, Mississippi. Vaught Hemingway Stadium is packed to the rafters on a special day for Eli Manning. But they think they've got a special football team as well. The 12th-ranked Rebels hosting the Tigers of LSU. As you take a look at the standings in the SEC West, Alabama on top. They've beaten Ole Miss, but the Rebels are right on their heels and keeping pace just in case Alabama should fall again. And we welcome you, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler along with Gary Danielson. Jamie Erdahl joins us in a matter of minutes. The story this week, the biggest story of the week in college football, if not one of the biggest stories all season long, is that Ed Orgeron will not be back as the head coach of the LSU Tigers in 2022. With more on that, let's go down to Jamie Erdahl.
Brad, Gary, how many of us can truly say that we got our dream job? Ed Orgeron can. As a kid growing up in Louisiana, Orgeron dreamt of wearing this head coach headset, standing on these sidelines, leading the LSU Tigers. But as a kid, you don't know that your dream job has its peaks, but it also has its valleys. Orgeron's been at LSU in some capacity since 2015. The highest of highs coming in 2019 with that undefeated national championship win. It all started to unravel last year. Prominent coordinators left. More than a dozen players from that title team went to the NFL. There was a reported disconnect between players and Orgeron in the summer, followed by a 500 season. Things went from bad to worse in 21. In the spring, an investigation found LSU athletics, including the football program, failed to handle sexual misconduct complaints. In the summer, Orgeron was named a defendant in a Title IX suit. All of these factors combined with a rough start to this football season led to an announcement this week that a mutual separation agreement was in place and Orgeron will not be the head coach next year. We spoke with Orgeron yesterday. He told us he's at peace with this decision, that it was a privilege to coach LSU and he will always represent this university. His players have said they will remain dedicated in their intensity to finish off this year playing for their university.
Well, what a difference, 20 months makes. And, Gary, it's going to be interesting. You have 18 to 22-year-old kids, guys, young men. Their emotions are involved in all of this.
I think so. But I think the key part, what Jamie said, it was a dream job. He succeeded, and he cares about this university, and he wants to go out with his head held high. That's the object of this game as he continues on the rest of the season.
And they've gone back to a different style of football now over the last couple of weeks, and I think Ed's a little more comfortable with that.
I think so. I think the style of this team kind of got out of whack, trying to recreate 2019, but now they've kind of found a go-to guy. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball with power, and Ty Davis-Price is the guy they're going to do it. You're going to see a lot of counter OT, counter trade, going to try to run the ball, and not only does LSU know that, but Ole Miss knows going into this game, everybody tries to run the ball on them. They have to stop the run.
Well, that's what Alabama did. Yeah. LSU will probably try to do the same thing. On a day that we honor number 10, Eli Manning, there's a number 2 here that's playing quarterback for Ole Miss. He's been really special, but maybe a little bit different today, right?
He's got it all. Not only does he obviously throwing the ball, but he actually leads Ole Miss in rush attempts. And that's kind of the problem. He's been running it so much that he's been getting hit. Last week against Tennessee, he ran the ball 30 times. Today, Lane Kiffin and Jeff Levy, the offensive coordinator, need to keep him upright Run a little, but slide, Matt, slide. That's the saying of the day.
Matt Corral, maybe the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, set to face off against the Tigers of LSU here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile, Aflac, Taco Bell, and by Wheels Up.
We didn't come here to be good. Came here to be great.
Here we go. Get your popcorn ready.
That was a drop the mic moment.
You gotta go get them in the mouth every snap right now. Let's go.
The Rebels win.
I don't know if I'm more excited that we found a way to win or I didn't get hit with the golf balls they were throwing at me.
What a football game.
Get your popcorn ready.
Here we go. Lane being Lane. Got a good football team. 5-1, 2-1 in the conference. LSU 4-3 and 2-2. You want a picture perfect day for football? Come on to Oxford today.
Cannot be better.
It is unbelievable. Beautiful. 76 degrees. Ole Miss won the toss. They want the football. Avery Atkins has got it teed up for the Tigers. Jerry and Ely is back deep for the Rebels. Here we go. And it will not be returnable. We'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. And the Papa John starting lineup. It all starts with this guy. He's the straw that stirs the hottie-toddies around here. Matt Corral, 14 touchdowns in the air, 8 on the ground. Here's the guys that will join him offensively. And if you think it's not kind of slim as far as the wide receivers, they moved Miles Battle from defense to offense this week just to add another receiver to their group. Perry starts in the backfield as a tailback, and it's Drummond on an end around. And he's got good yardage, picked up 7 or 8 against this defense of LSU, led by Damon Clark, the middle linebacker who leads the team with 79 tackles. Second down and in a hurry along 2 for the Rebels. There's nobody to fake it to. The pitch is to Parrish, and he's got the first down.
Flag went down late, I believe. I think it might have been a block from behind. They're going to call on the offensive lineman.
Here's a call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
As Gary called it.
Yeah, pretty much unnecessary, too. Broker had that end man on the line of scrimmage and chased him down to get it, too. He had to go out of his way to block him in the back. So we talked in the open about slide, Matt, slide, but it's not quite that easy. You know, the offense is also missing 2 of his leading receivers,
right,
his go-to guys. So it's going to get complicated. As I said, Matt's the leading rusher in attempts on this football team. So how do they kind of maneuver this offense?
Braylon Sanders injured last week. Jonathan Mingo's been banged up for about 3 weeks. May come back, they hope, before the end of the season, but they are shorthanded in the receiver category for sure.
Another playmaker that hasn't got a lot lately is Jerry and Ely has not seen a lot of action.
Right. And he didn't start today. Parrish did. Here's a quick throw and a strike across the middle, and Drummond a first down. That's the one guy they can count on. Lane Kiffin said, I wouldn't be shocked if he sets a record today for number of catches because we're throwing it to him.
Exactly. And, you know, one of the things that Lane noticed about the Tennessee game, he didn't go to him enough.
This time Corral's in trouble. Got away from one man, but not the second. And it's going to be a sack for B.J. Ojulari, who is one of the top sackers in the SEC.
And that's exactly what has to make a difference in this game. Neil Farrell that time, number 92, gets in, beats his man. Can they put some hits on Matt Corral even when he's in the pocket?
This time straight run for Parrish. Slides across the 40 out near the 41. Jay Ward made the tackle. It'll be third down.
So everybody's a little different on defense this year. You turn on the tape, you remember the man-to-man defense of LSU from a year ago. Well, they've lost their top 2 corners, play much more zone.
Corral again across the middle. This one in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Jaden Jackson. Should have had it. And it's fourth down.
Sage Ryan, number 15, the true freshman who's in the slot playing because Cordell Flott has had to move to corner with the injuries to Derek Stingley and Eli Ricks. So let's see if it's fourth down and go here.
It is. They've converted 20 fourth downs this year. This is a 4th down and 6 in their own territory. It might be worse than that now if it's a false start.
Yep.
False start. Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And I think your analytics tells you it's time to punt.
Yes. The first one was right on the edge.
I know.
Now I think punt. Yeah, I think he just started going forward. Go motion. You got to go sideways at least. And just a little bit before the snap.
And so Mac Brown will come on to punt it away. Trey Palmer is down on the other end for LSU. Brown averaging over 47 a kick. Got a nice one here. Max Palmer way up around the 11-yard. That's a perfect punt. Perfect. Got it down to the 11 or 10-yard line and right at the sideline. Palmer had no choice but just to step out of bounds. So well done by the Ole Miss punter. A couple of minutes into the action here in Oxford. Scoreless just 2 minutes in as we check the Papa John starting lineup to take the offense for LSU for the first time today. And it's Max Johnson, the left-hander out of Athens, Georgia, son of Brad Johnson, who won a Super Bowl. Here's the guys that will join him, including his favorite target at this point, a tight end, Jack Besh. But a bad spot to start inside the 11. Ty Davis Price behind Max Johnson in a pistol set. Malik Neighbors, the motion man. And it's Davis Price for about 4. Defensively for Ole Miss, they really like having Jake Springer back in the lineup because he just made that tackle for one thing. But the back end, he is one of the most consistent guys they have, calls the plays back there in the secondary, made that opening tackle after a 4-yard gain. Quick throw. Out to Neighbors, trying to get to the edge. He's collared and thrown out of bounds by Dean Leonard. That'll bring up 3rd down.
It's something you don't hear very often in the SEC, that a transfer from Navy has made us a much better defense.
We've seen him in a different uniform before.
Yes. He usually goes into the boundary. He's right over here this time and is able to get to the quarterback. They blitz him, and it comes the extra linebacker in these run fits.
Let's see if it's a run fit here on 3rd and 3. Straight drop for Johnson. Over the middle, and he throws complete out across the 30. Got it to Jack Besh, the guy we just talked about, his 25th catch of the season.
Well, the NFL influence has definitely started into college football. The tight end has become the mismatch. Everybody's looking for one of those guys. We saw it at Georgia. Besh has become, he's really the number 2 leading receiver for LSU. He gets on linebackers and safeties, and they make plays.
First down at the 31. They fake the end around, go back to Davis Price off the right side, and he burrows his way for about 4.
New wrinkle for LSU. Also, we saw it last week against Florida. Garrett Dillinger, number 72, and extra offensive tackles in the game at tight end.
Part of their 321 yards rushing in their 49-42 win over Florida last week. Second and 6. Just inside the 35. Johnson hit as he throws. Going deep. Got it.
Oh, God.
Complete. Down to Trey Palmer.
I thought Trey Palmer slipped on the play and couldn't get in it. He was the one who went in motion. Max shows his toughness waiting for the last second. And as Palmer looks one way, gets into the secondary, and perfectly throws the ball between three hands.
With Sam Williams right in his ribcage, Johnson delivers that thing.
Yeah, that's that toughness everybody talks about when you talk about Max.
44-yard pass play down just inside the 21-yard line. Back to the ground. Davis Price just blasts his way for about 6 before he stood up.
This is the winning football that LSU featured last week against Florida when they ran for all those yards. They hit you with both hands, basically.
Yep.
You got the play-action pass game. They've gotten healthy and tougher up front.
There you see the last 2 games. Phenomenal. 3 weeks ago, they were one of the worst rushing teams in the country. Not anymore, at least not in the last 2 weeks. 2nd and 3. Low snap. Johnson fires across the middle, and it's 1st and goal at the 5 as he zipped it in there to Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, that's one of those RPOs. He's standing there. He's got the option to hand it or throw the slant. But if you look at all this open space. He knows, even though it's a long snap, I'm going slant. And he did.
Did a great job of scraping that snap off the turf and rifles it down to the 5-yard line. So using all his weapons so far is Max Johnson. And they're perfect in the red zone. One of 3 teams in the country that way, including 14 touchdowns in 19 trips. That's what they're looking for here. Ty Davis Price got it to the 1.
Yeah, but I think in this game, Ness, perfect doesn't mean a field goal.
Right.
Considering who they're going to play against and the points Ole Miss can dial up, perfect for them means touchdown.
That close. His body hitting down right at the 1.
But LSU will always take a little clock. They know that Ole Miss wants to go fast. They want to keep the defense on the sideline.
Perfect mix of rush and pass, 4 of each in the 4.5-minute drive. And now Ty Davis Price, touchdown LSU. Can't do it much better than that on the opening drive.
So Lane wanted to go for it on 4th down, got a penalty, punted it perfectly to the 5, and with the big pass play, that was the one. Showed just enough running, but then they hit the big pass play for 44 yards. That really flipped the field.
Cade York will come in for the point after. .28 out of 28 on the year on the extra points. High snap, they got it down, and he knocked it perfectly through to cap a beautiful opening drive for LSU. 90 yards in 9 plays. As Gary said, the big chunk, 44-yard strike. Max Johnson under heavy pressure delivers to Trey Palmer. Ty Davis Price takes it the rest from a yard out. 7-0 LSU. Tomorrow, NFL on CBS doubleheader features early action between the Chiefs and the Titans. Burrow and the Bengals take on Lamar Jackson's Ravens, and clash between the rookie and the veteran Justin Fields against Tom Brady and company. We'll get you all set. JB and the guys starting at noon Eastern. It's a doubleheader day tomorrow on CBS. Well, an opening drive for LSU that couldn't be any prettier. On a day that couldn't be any prettier. 90 yards in 9 plays, 4.5 minutes. Ty Davis Price caps it off with his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. Atkins kick again sails out of the back of the end zone, and out comes Matt Corral and company to the 25.
And that's one time more. Look, watch Trey Palmer almost slipped and fall inches away. That's his go-to guy. Oh, and then if you can't make this throw with a guy in your face, watch Mac Johnson, guy right as you can't make that throw, you cannot play big-time football. That's how you win over your football team. Inches, inches, and inches on 3 different parts. And Max into the film room will gain a lot of credibility for standing there and throwing that one.
You're not kidding. Matt Corral now from the 25. The slant is too far in front of Drummond, incomplete.
Wide open.
And Matt knows it.
Yeah, stack formation at the bottom. cleanly beats it, kind of faked the wide receiver screen and throws a slant. Can't get any more open than that.
And a whistle before the snap on second down. Another flag that looks like a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start.
That's
offense.
3 big
54.
penalties on Ole Miss.
Penalty, second down.
Well, they're averaging about 10 penalties a game. That's been one of their problems.
Well, the block in the back, that would have been a first down. They went for it on fourth down. Lane kind of, I guess, knew we got to go for it on fourth down, and they come down and score. So that's 3 penalties.
So they're putting themselves behind the sticks here. This one is complete to Drummond. Back across the 30 to the 31.
You mentioned it, that Lane was going to go feature Drummond. You know, he has to. 2 of his main receivers is out, but he's got a lot of experience doing that. Remember at Alabama, he had Amari Cooper,
right.
124 catches.
And there's big Neil Farrell. Says, not this time, to Henry Parrish. When they got Logan back healthy and Farrell, that inside defense for LSU kind of stiffened up because of those guys.
I think you're right. Not only did Farrell help one spot, he helped 2 spots when he came back. I remember Lane when he targeted Cooper, then he targeted Calvin Ridley. He said, I'm going to do this in this game. Got to hit them, though, when they're wide open. You got to hit them.
And so another punt. Can't go on fourth down when you're this deep in your own territory. So Mac Brown to punt. His last one was a beauty. This one's going to force a fair catch around the 26-27 yard line by Palmer.
I wonder if Lane will think about that 3rd and 4 run call next time he gets a tough spot.
Want to tackle your fitness? Hey Siri, tell me more about Apple Fitness Plus.
Get non-stop sports news, expert picks, and the biggest highlights on CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 news network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. And I'll be joining the gang at HQ when this one's over. Eli Manning with his family here. His number 10 is going to be retired at halftime. Spent some time with the Manning family last night. That means Archie as well, who's number 18, is also up here in the stadium. So father and son both with their jerseys retired. Archie's wife Olivia behind him there in the box. One's in the open air, one's inside.
Sure that's Olivia?
I'm positive. Here's Ty Davis Price straight up the middle.
Want to tell him why?
Oh, I could. I gave Olivia's sister a hug last night, said hi to Olivia.
It wasn't her.
It wasn't her. I have to admit it. I've known Olivia for a long time. She said it happens all the time. They look almost exactly alike. Same haircut, same everything. I felt a little stupid, but I got over it. You had to bring it up, didn't you?
Well, first quarter.
Yeah, okay. Second down and 2. Johnson fires out in the flat, completes it to Brian Thomas for a first down.
I tell you, Max Johnson is so calm. You know, he's tough, he's competitive. You know, had to play maybe a year before he was ready, but really came on last year as a true freshman. Watch this, in his face again, just throws it out there. No panic at all. That time was Otis Reese, a strong safety coming right at him.
Corey Kiner joins Max in the backfield right now for LSU for the first time today. On a first down from the 39. Johnson rolling right. Oh, and that one got out of his hands.
He was ready to throw. The wide receiver sailed out. It means kind of a short corner to the outside. And I think an Ole Miss secondary player dropped off just as he was ready to throw it. And he saw it. He went, oh, no, oh, no. So I'll take it incomplete rather than throw it right into coverage.
Exactly. It looked bad, but it would have been worse.
Yeah, he thought he had him wide open. Then he went, oh, no, I see blue out there.
So a harmless first down incompletion brings up second down and 10.
Yeah, 3rd tackles in the game.
Throw down the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Jenkins.
Going to get called, though, I think. I think Johnson might have had his right arm hooked around as he reached with his left arm.
Tysheem Johnson right there.
Yep.
Yeah, he thought he made a good play, but he didn't.
Interference. Defense, number 27. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
They all do it, all the defensive backs, when they get in that position, they hook that right arm and hope to get away with it. If you do it, you got to do it lower. You got to get right on the hip, not around the arms.
So another penalty against Ole Miss.
It's got to be a little tug like I tugged you on that Olivia.
Right.
Just a little one.
Skyner straight up the middle, and when they push him forward, it'll be about a 5-yard pickup. Max Johnson, the lefty, as we talked about, out of Athens, Georgia, where Mark Richt was the head coach, his uncle for so many years, and son of Brad Johnson, and won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Plays a little bit like his dad, only left-handed instead of right-handed. He's got the ball right at midfield.
If he's close, he's good, right?
Yeah.
There's the counter.
Kiner, and he's still running. Big gainer for Kiner, down inside the 35. A.J. Finley finally brought him down.
So if you're a Florida fan watching this game, you've seen this play before. Backside, guard and tackle, or tackle and H-back. Watch this. This time it's guard and tackle, and they run the counter and gash it inside. That was the play that just hurt Florida so badly. And offensive coordinator Jake Peets called it 16 times in a row in the fourth quarter.
You see the rushing yardage already piling up for LSU as we thought it might. First down at the 33. Johnson down the middle, high a little bit. Could have been caught. Incomplete. Brian Thomas, again, the intended receiver.
So one of the changes that Coach O made this year, bringing in 2 young offensive coordinators. That's Jake Peets right in the middle there. I think that's right there. And, you know, he had to get a little bit used to college football and how to call the game, dealing with the hashes. And where do they go? They go to UCLA. They had the hurricane thing. They had injured offensive linemen. They really have never found their stride until about halfway through the season.
Jake Peets came from the NFL, was with the Panthers as a running back and quarterback coach the last couple of years. 2nd and 10 on the RPO. A strike again right to the 20-yard line, complete to Jere Jenkins.
Boy, it's just pitch and catch out here right now.
Sure is.
I mean, you've got all kind of grass. This is not even a read. He knew before the play he was going to throw that slant. It might be an RPO, but it was RP. It was just, I'm just going to pass it.
He threw 3 touchdown passes to Jenkins. Johnson did a week ago. This time he's right back to the red zone. Corey Kiner comes back into the backfield once the center judge backpedals. We'll have a first down at the 20. Trey Palmer in motion. They just flip it to him. Palmer trying to get to the edge. Ole Miss, nice job defensively to stretch it out and bring him down. Chance Campbell led the way from his linebacker spot.
He sure did. Another one of those transfers. Talking about Springer earlier, Chance Campbell, the middle linebacker, chased it from inside out. 2 difference makers for this defense. And it's been tough, you know. I mean, it's a defense in transition, that's for sure.
Campbell came as honorable mention in the Big Ten last year as the leading tackler for Maryland. Josh Williams now 3rd tailback makes an appearance for the Tigers on 2nd down at 10. Johnson. Whoa, that's some traffic there.
That's
complete.
Sure. Was it 36? Sistrunk almost had that one. I think it's right here. And it throws it right to him. Holy cow.
He threw it so hard it went right through his hands. And Jenkins did get the ricochet, but couldn't hold on.
That was a tight window.
Jason Autry, our referee.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 75. Penalty has declined. Result of the play, 3rd down.
Anthony Bradford, the lineman downfield. Penalties declined.
Again, that's part of that RPO offense. The linemen are blocking runs. If everybody else, you know, it's up to the quarterback whether he wants to throw, and that happens sometimes.
First 10 pass attempts. 7 complete for 88 yards. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Crowd roaring for the defense of the Rebels. The throw complete. Dropped ball. and covered. It's going to be 4th down and a yard.
Yeah, decision for Coach O right now. What type of game does he think it is? Does he go for it on 4th down or try to take the 3 points?
Looks like an extra tight end coming in, and looks as though they'll go.
I think he makes it easily if he doesn't drop the ball.
Probably. 4th and 1.
It's not like Coach O's got a lot to lose.
I knew that was coming. Oh, everybody jumps.
Got him with a hard count.
If it's on LSU, it's going to be a
boom.
But he said boom. That's on the defense, according to the head coach.
Offside. Defense. Number 97. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Jamon Gordon jumped in. 1 of 3. And a big smile, Coach Orgeron, because of this play.
It's a 5th penalty in the first quarter of this game, and all of them more than important.
1st and goal now for LSU. Well, one good thing, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you're thinking it doesn't matter if we get behind. We've got the kind of offense that can even things up in a hurry. They'd love to at least force 3 here somehow. Davis Price stood up.
Filling the hole, isn't it?
Nice play. Chance Campbell, the guy we just talked about.
You got to read your keys. Don't look at all that crisscrossing offensive lineman. Keep your eye on the back. That's exactly what he does. Fills it right at the line of scrimmage.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, that felt like we were in the action. Didn't it? Felt like he was playing linebacker.
2nd down and goal.
You would think pass here.
Motion. Fake, but the handoffs to Davis Price. Look at him battle his way down inside the 3. There's some helmet knocking going on right now. Otis Reese dragged him down.
So did that call tip off that it's 4-down territory for Coach O?
Watch number 3 meet number 3. Boom.
Yeah, that's good form check, but you're right. He kept fighting, didn't he? Both guys. Good competition there.
Third down and goal.
This is where you wonder, are you going to get quarterback run? Second leading rusher for LSU is Max Johnson in attempts.
Nothing doing.
Maybe should have been.
4th and goal. Nice job by the Rebels defense.
This would be a huge stop by this Ole Miss defense. They could hold this to a field goal. It would be big.
Hell, I guess we're going to pull all the stops out today. 4th down from the 3.
He's throwing a little lane strategy at lane here, right?
Yeah. Ole Miss, 62% on their 4th downs, but there haven't been a lot of them. Here comes a big one late in the first quarter. Play clock winding down. Let's see if they even get the snap off here. Coach O runs down to call a timeout. He made it to about the 7-yard line. Rumbling down the sideline to get the timeout call with 57 seconds to go, first quarter.
With a Shield Level annuity from Bright House Financial, your portfolio can benefit from growth potential with a level of protection from market volatility to help you follow your plans wherever they take you. Bright House Financial. Build for what's ahead.
This is a 14th play of the LSU drive. It started at the 27. They're at the 3 where it's 4th and goal. And they're going to go for it.
And they've got their extra tackle in the game. Dellinger's number 72 and their best blocking tight end in the game, Mashburn.
So Ed Orgeron going for it on 4th down. At the 3. Guess he's thinking, what are they going to do? Fire me? Johnson scrambling. Throws late and incomplete. Intercepted, in fact, in the end zone.
Well, was it the end zone or was it the half-yard line?
It looked like maybe the half. Tysheem Johnson picks off Max Johnson.
You got to throw it here. Nothing open. Great defense by Ole Miss. Good pursuit. Last second throw it. And he comes down. I think he got his foot in.
First and 10 at the 1-yard line.
He hit the pylon with his right foot.
mean, it's hard to tell, a player when they're reacting for the ball to knock it down. But, if he catches and turns up, I guess it's a yard or two.
Yeah, two yards difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make much difference.
But they did stop the drive.
Oh,
we said if they could hold him to 3, they held him to nothing.
Sure did.
Max Johnson, that's only his 5th interception of the season to go with his 20 touchdown passes. And so Matt Corral and company are lined up in their own end zone. That's the bad news. Good news is they got the ball back.
Don't you get the feeling that Lane is dying to throw his clipboard with one of those plays backed up? I think he's dying to do it.
Lamar. Pylon cam right into the knee of Tasheen Johnson.
So one foot hit the line, his other foot hit the pylon. Where was the ball, I guess? The ball must have been outside the line.
About the 2-foot line.
Yeah. No guess.
Now they've got a big opening and a first down. Snoop Connor, and you hear the chants of Snoop here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. Now they got some room to work.
Always the danger. You get a little bit greedy, don't kick the field goal. All of a sudden the other team goes out the back door and runs it on you.
And they go right back to it with a hurry up to Connor again. 2 big runs by Jared Snoop Connor. Matt Corral's got him lined up as they worked it out now to the 23-yard line. 2nd down and a yard. Connor again. Now he cuts it outside. Big opening on the outside for Connor. So 3 handoffs to number 24 in big yardage.
Great job by this offensive line this time. Nick Broker, number 64, the left offensive tackle, just flattens the end man on the line of scrimmage and a break outside of it.
Pickup of 23 on the last one for Connor. Gets a little breather to end the first quarter. So the Rebels come up with an interception. Their offense starting to get geared up here as we're set for second quarter action when we come back. Depot SEC on CBS enters quarter number 2 with LSU leading 12th ranked Ole Miss 7-0. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Rudall, and our crew on a picture-perfect day in Oxford, Mississippi. This drive's all been Snoop Connor. 3 carries, 45 yards when they had to start from their own 1-yard line. Now they've moved it to the 46. The throw's out in the flat to Ely, and Ely's going to lose yardage. Let's check in with Jamie.
Ding to LSU secondary. Jay Ward, a safety, is in the medical tent right now. They're taking a look at his low back strain, but he is probable to return as we see another Tiger go down.
All right, and that's Glenn Logan, who they just got back last week. And that has helped solidify the inside of their defense. Jay Ward, that Jamie was talking about, had 2 interceptions last year in the game against Ole Miss. And Glenn's been around the block, senior, 339-pounder. Let's take a look on the inside, and he got hit low.
Got one on each leg, basically, right there.
Tomorrow, Queen Latifah stars in The Equalizer, the show that critics are calling fresh and reinvigorating. Don't miss a new episode of The Equalizer tomorrow on CBS. Ole Miss trying to get the equalizer here on this drive as they trail by a touchdown. And they've got 2nd down and 11 from the 45. Jerry and Ely in the backfield with Matt Corral. Corral looked one way and now going deep. Airing it long. Got Drummond out there, and it's broken up, but a flag flies. We're going to have pass interference.
He had his arm on him the whole way.
Pass interference, defense, number 15. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Sage Ryan, number 15.
Yep, just the whole way. But again, it was
better than a touchdown.
You got it, but it's a first down, and it moves the chains on the play. Go deep, go deep. His left arm is grabbing him the whole time as he reaches across.
So that moves the ball by penalty into LSU territory for Ole Miss.
Some changes on that Ole Miss offensive line. Caleb Warren has gone out, meaning Umana has moved over to guard, and they brought in a new setter, Bryce Ramsey, number 75.
Corral wants to go deep again. He's going to try it again. Incomplete, as he's too far in front of his intended receiver. Again, he's playing with some guys. Normally he would have. They had really 3 good receivers. Lane Kiffin thought they'd be maybe the best group of receivers in the SEC if everybody was healthy. That's not the case. Dontario Drummond is his main weapon that he just tried to get the ball to 2 plays ago. So second down at 10 at the 40. That's Drummond in motion. The pitch goes to Ely. Ely, nice move, little shake and bake, and then some power before Clark can bring him down, but he got 11 and a first down.
So Jaron Ely is their playmaker in the backfield. When he's healthy, he's the guy in space that can do so many things. 5th leading receiver, kind of struggled with the concussion symptoms
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
just getting back healthy.
First down at the 29. On the RPO, Corral's going to take off. Matt Corral, and he does slide. I don't believe it.
Listen to the crowd. They appreciate it. They've been reading the papers. Remember,
what did Jeff Levy say? Dive, Matt, dive. Or slide, Matt, slide. But
remember, on 100 plays last week, they ran 101 plays. Matt Corral ran the ball 30 times.
8 of those times, the coaches told us he probably shouldn't have either handed it off or thrown the ball, so he got overused in the run game, but his ankle looked fine on that one. Connor now back in there with him on second down and a long 2. And he'll pull it out, and he'll run it again, diving forward, but I don't think he got the first down. He got it to the 20. It's going to be 3rd and a yard.
So that was an RPO, a slant, coupled with a quarterback draw. So they called it for him right there. They had the slant, but they also have a quarterback draw on at the same time.
3rd down and a yard, and you know this is 4-down territory for Lane Kiffin. So whatever they do, they might have 2 chances at it. Connor, remember, has 45 yards on this drive. Corral keeps. Little fake, and he's still going. Down to the 11-yard line.
Once you get competitive, and once you played one way basically your whole life, it's hard to turn it off. You're competing, your team's down, you want to make plays, and you just play like you normally play.
He started this way back at the 1 after the interception. This time Corral has to throw out of pressure. He got it back to the line of scrimmage as Neil Farrell was draped all over him. You know, the thing is, as many times as he runs, Matt Corral is not the biggest guy in the world.
No, only 200 pounds. He's not like 240. They're going to call grounding.
Yeah. Offense, number 2. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss it down. Second down.
He was in the grass. Lane is going. He was throwing it to a guy. Let's see if he does. Gets in the grass really quick here. And it to no one. And it didn't.
Maybe it didn't. I said that it got to the line of scrimmage. I don't think it did.
And he was still in the pocket. It's got to go to somebody.
So lost it down.
Unbalanced line left.
Backs it up to the 20. Corral pumps one way. Wanted to go out in the flat to Parrish and can't. And now he's going to get dragged down way back at the 29 by Clark.
Yeah, it was one of those problem plays that everybody talks about how Lane can scheme a big play. So you got to give credit to the LSU defense. It was unbalanced. They kind of sneak a running back out to the sideline. Good job, good defense on the play. Nowhere to go with the ball.
And Clark did a little land shark, and that's usually for the defense of Ole Miss. So
you remember those days?
Yep.
I think maybe the last time we were here, 2016, it was land shark time.
Boy, 3rd down at 26. Drummond in motion from the top of the screen. Corral over the middle. And he throws it short to Parrish at the 25.
Good smart play. LSU forces the throw in front of him, forcing the field goal attempt. Can't get greedy. If you're a quarterback in that situation to make a mistake, both sides accomplish what they wanted to.
Caden Costa will come in, number 43. He hit a 30-yarder last week, but missed a 44-yarder. 6 out of 8 on the season. And this is going to be a 42-yard attempt. Caden Costa to try to put Ole Miss on the board. Got it right down the pipe. Perfect. Well, they had it down close, but the sack, the penalties, ends up only being 3 for the Rebels.
Adam Zucker with this Jeep update. History was painful and exhausting to watch in Happy Valley. An exchange of mostly failed 2-point plays went 9 innings before Illinois' backup Brandon Peters finds Casey Washington for the win. And Brett Bielema hands Penn State its 2nd straight loss. Most OTs ever under the new method, guys. Illinois partying.
The Fighting Bielemas, big win for them. Here's 7-3 LSU trying to spoil the party with the 12th ranked team in the country. Leading 7-3. 74-yard drive, took 13 plays, over 5 minutes for Ole Miss, but they only got the field goal out of it. And now Caden Costa, who just hit that 43-yard field goal, has got it teed up. Trey Palmer back deep for LSU, along with Josh Williams. This one might be returnable. We don't see many. No, they're going to let it sail, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now it's time for New Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot.
It's been the RPO offense that has been hurting Ole Miss the most. Beck Johnson reading that open areas, hitting the ball on the crossing or the slant routes, 2 different angles, same attack area basically. However, I think Ole Miss has got to be happy. You know, only running the ball so far, LSU 47 yards in this game. I would have thought that LSU would have wanted to pound the ball. They have not been able to do it, or they've been throwing a bit too much.
They're going to try to pound it here, and they got about 5 out of it. Davis Price on the carry. Last week, a career-high 36 carries for him.
Also, just remember, their defense was just out there for 13 plays, so they need to make a couple first downs.
Yep. 35 yards on 10 totes already for number 3. Last week, 287, a school record, and a win over Florida. Blitz coming, and Price only got 2.
Good defense again.
Campbell again. Yep. Oh, he's a football player, isn't he?
There he is right there. Only one back there. Just eject one blocker from the side. Throws away Ed Ingram and just makes the tackle.
Chance came in as the leading tackler with 46 to lead the Rebels defense. 3rd down and 3. Empty backfield. Matt Johnson now is going to have Davis Price join him, however. Set to throw. Pocket collapsing. Moves to his left and airs it out deep. And we're going to have a flag back there again. Didn't have to be. I don't think he would have caught it. But Otis Reese, the guilty party.
Yeah, but in reality, obviously he's open, but Otis Reese doesn't know it's not thrown. We can see it accurately. He didn't know that the ball wasn't perfect, and he had to try to save the play. I think that ball would have been caught on the play as well by Besh. So I thought that was decent pass of protection by LSU. I thought Ole Miss did a good job forcing them out, but then just couldn't hang on long enough.
As you see Besh trot out into the slot on the right side.
Kind of a hybrid tight end, true freshman.
This time a run to Kiner. Look at the moves inside by Corey Kiner. Was Mr. Football in the state of Ohio last year. And some nifty moves to pick up 5 before Springer brought him down.
LSU, obviously, no huddle, but not a hurry-up.
Right.
It's not that fast-paced 2019 when Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire were attacking you all the time. A couple receivers pretty good on that team, too.
I'd say so. Late give there, and it didn't pay off. It's a loss of a yard.
I think that was
Mark Robinson made the tackle. He's a story.
It was.
Guy that walked on. Had a career-high 14 tackles last week.
Coming from behind, right behind the pulling guards. Gets right behind the tackle and makes the play. You can tell they practiced that play, didn't they? Saw a bunch of counter OT, and he backdoored it, made the play behind the line of scrimmage.
This would be a huge stop for the Rebels defense if they can stop this 3rd and 5. From the 48, Johnson. Again, he's going to take off this time. Saw that green grass in front of him and picked up the first down.
That's the danger with the 3-man rush. Those lanes are just so wide for a quarterback. Pushing him wide, no one to his left side, which, remember, a left-handed quarterback, he's more likely to go left. He does, sees all that space. It's almost a gimme for him.
So he picks up the first down. Keeps the drive alive at the 7.5-minute mark of the second quarter. First down at the 39.
Have the extra tackle in the game. Heavy alignment. Lined up right here at tight end.
Corner blitz coming, and Price going to be tackled by that blitz from the secondary by Springer. The quarterback comparison so far, a tough start from Matt Corral. Max Johnson, one mistake. That was the interception that he threw at the 1-yard line. They haven't passed at all. Either Price or Kiner, or in the last case, Johnson on the scramble, running the football. This will be a pass, and he's going deep. Incomplete, broken up. Nice job defensively back there by A.J. Finley.
That was a great job by Finley. A wheel route, very tough for those defensive backs, especially the safeties coming up on a play, and then you got the wheel. He turns, going to come out and up. Safety's got him, and then he turns up and runs it, sprints, and then looks back at the right time. Wonderful job by Finley.
AT&T 5G pylon cam. You see Jeray Jenkins and A.J. Finley flying right past you. Spent some time we did with A.J. yesterday. Really entertaining young fella and a really good football play right there. 3rd down and 8.
Last time they rushed 3, they do it again.
Johnson hit as he throws, skips it off the hands of his receivers. Jack Besh, and he has to pick himself off the grass as he got leveled again when he let go of that ball.
He sure did, and he had to get it, let go of it, or he would have been sacked right around the corner, making the play. I think it was Robinson, number 95, that got him. Well, that was a good throw, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it should have been caught for the first down.
And they're going to try a 55-yard field goal here from Cade York. His career long is 57, so he's capable. He's hit a 56-yarder earlier this year against McNeese State. Hasn't missed this year. Cade York. And a whistle and a timeout. And Orgeron calls a timeout. His team in front, 7-3. This Thursday, 6 young outcasts blast off the ultimate space adventure. Join this new animated crew as they try to get along and navigate the universe together, kind of like Gary and I. And the original series, Star Trek Prodigy, is streaming October 28th exclusively on Paramount+.
Yeah, down in the other end, my instincts would have been go field goal, and they went for it. Here, my instincts say, should I go for it? Should punt it?
Well, this
got
guy,
a lot of confidence in this guy.
This guy's hit 1250-plus field goals. He was a second-team All-American a year ago. Hasn't missed this year and has hit from 56 earlier in the season. 57 is career long. This will be a 55-yard field goal attempt for Cade York. To try to add to the LSU lead. Kick is no good. Wide right. To the delight of the Ole Miss fans here in Oxford.
Well, obviously, as you saw, it had plenty of distance, just from that area, the longer you go, the angle off just makes it that much tougher, obviously, and it just slid right.
So no harm done there, and that makes the sideline erupt for Ole Miss as they'll get the ball back in good field position with 6:23 to go. Ole Miss will set up shop back at the line of scrimmage at the 37. Snoop Connor in the backfield with Matt Corral, who's been pretty much corralled today so far as his passing statistics. This is a handoff and now a reverse. Drummond's going to throw it back to Corral, and he's got it at midfield and out of bounds. So a little dipsy-do there from Lane Kiffin as the wide receiver hooks up with a quarterback.
Yeah, try to predict this play on first down. Remember, he ended somewhat in the last drive with a kind of a gimmick play. Didn't work. Comes right back with another one.
First down at the LSU 44 after a pickup of 19. Connor. Whoa, he blasts up the middle. And Snoop Connor still going down to the 22.
Just want to highlight this offensive line. Remember, center. Orlando Amano's playing right guard now. They have a backup center in. The reason they had to slide over is it'd be third different guard they've got in the game.
Snoop Connor might end up with 100 yards before halftime. That last carry was 22. This one's about a yard before Neil Farrell dropped him.
Longtime starting right guard Ben Brown is out. He has 40 starts. Caleb Warren started in his place. Now they're down to their number 3 right guard and their backup center, and still running the ball effectively.
Perry started the game in the backfield. Connor has, for the most part, taken over. Jarrett Ely hasn't been much of a factor, but Snoop Connor was 67 yards on the ground. First down at the 22. They fake the pitch to it. Corral throws short, and that ball is in and out of the hands of Pearson. I guess he caught it and then coughed it up and then recovered it.
This is almost like option football. When you're in the end man line of scrimmage, you have to trust that the linebacker behind you has the little bootleg man. You let him pass by and you go for the quarterback. Good job of defense there.
And it brings up a third down and long. But unless Lane Kiffin does something un-Lane-like, it'll be 2-down territory. Trying to take the lead on this drive with 4.5 to play in the half. Ely is in there behind Corral. He gets a call and he gets the corner and he gets the touchdown. Yeah. Ole Miss.
They're going to call holding, though, I think. It was right on the end man, the line of scrimmage. Lane was upset. You can see it.
Negates a 22-yard touchdown run.
Holding, offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, third down.
So Jordan Rhodes plays a little tackle, but he's in at left guard now. Another change on the offensive line. He's right here. As he reaches, he grabs. Reaches left, pulls with his right hand. You could see it kind of horse-collared him from in front right there.
Pulled Ojulari down. And so it backs up to the 31, where it's 3rd and 19, negating a 22-yard touchdown run by Jarrett Ely. Ely stays in there. It's got to be a Corral pass, you would think, coming up. Nope, it's Ely. Here he goes again. Jarrett Ely. Down to the 2. What a run.
He's a difference maker. When this offense is humming, they've got number 9 in. Long yardage situation. They go with the run, and you see the footwork of Ely getting in the secondary.
First and goal. Ely runs into a pile, runs into trouble, and loses a yard or 2.
Seems a little familiar, doesn't it?
Yep.
But did LSU have 12 men on the field, though? Going fast like that, you have to be careful.
Substitution, defense. More than 11 players on the field with snap. The penalty is half the distance to goal. Repeat, first down.
Remember, Ole Miss goes fast. LSU tries to get their defensive goal line defense out there. And what does it do? They get the 12-man penalty.
First and goal at the 1.
That's part of the strategy in the hurry-up. You try to keep their nickel defense on the field and short yardage, and it worked.
You might have heard what you thought was boos in the background. That was the crowd saying Snoop. Connor, that is the tailback. Corral keeps it, shouldn't have. Lost a yard.
Wow, did you see Damone Clark, number 18, time out that snap? He almost took the handoff that time. He's almost there to make the play and get the handoff on the play. Timed it out perfectly.
Second and goal. Play fake, throw, touchdown, Ole Miss. Casey Kelly, the tight end.
Well, it was 2 plays. Remember the throwback back to the quarterback, and then on third and very long, they run the draw down there to put it in position for the touchdown. 2 great calls. Let's give it the offensive coordinator, Jeff Levy. We talked to him. He's a master at running lanes offense, and he dialed them up at the right time there.
Caden Costa in for the point after. 10-7, Ole Miss. 63 yards after the missed field goal by LSU in 7 plays. Lane Kiffin says, that's it. The Lane train takes the lead, 10-7.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on all of today's action, including a big one in the Big 12. Iowa State trying to give Oklahoma State its first loss, as they did 10 years ago. 4th and goal. Brock Purdy to Xavier Hutchinson to tie it up at 7 as we go back to the Magnolia Bowl.
Thanks, Zuck. See you guys in 3 minutes and change. 10-7 here. The sideline erupting here as Ole Miss takes the lead.
2 guys
they've known each other well,
and they kind of got the same mannerisms, don't they?
Ole Miss trying to keep pace in the SEC West with Alabama. That's the only blemish on their record to this point. And out to the 25 will come with the LSU offense. With that, we got a little time here for our trivia question, which is, in the BCS College Football Playoff era, Alabama's won 6 national titles. What team has won the 2nd most championships? Let you mull that one over as we test your knowledge.
I'm taking a bow because I answered that correctly. Remember that on
I know.
Thursday?
You were pretty proud of yourself.
Have I mentioned that to anybody else a few times?
Yeah.
It's the first one I got right all year. That's why.
All right, LSU only has 1 timeout remaining. Ole Miss with a full complement with 3:12 to go before halftime. Nice job by the defense there. No gain.
Story of the first half is the Ole Miss defense. They're stopping the run. You know, I think LSU thought they could come in here and play bully ball on them. They have not been able to do it. Remember the goal line stand that defense did? And now they've been able to corral the LSU running game in this game.
That was Robinson who made another tackle, a linebacker, after a short gain. 2nd and 9. Johnson rolling the wrong way for his left arm, trying to spin away, and no chance because of Momo Sanogo.
Anytime you have 2 defenders out there, it really causes problems with quarterback. You can't let one guy miss you, but it's really tough to make 2 guys miss. You make 1 fake, all right. 2 fakes, not going to happen.
That was a Sanogo no-no.
No.
Timeout with 2:31 remaining in the half. A big 3rd down coming up when we come back. Coming up, Adam, Rick, and BJ. First half analysis and highlights from around the country in the Geico Halftime Report, including a couple of upsets already. Zook loves upsets. They'll be talking about it here in 2.5 minutes.
How about Lane Kiffin? Confidence in his defense, taking a timeout here with his defense on the field. They've earned it.
3rd down and 11. Johnson, pocket collapsing again. And they're going to drag him down, and it's Chance Campbell again. 4th down. Timeout again. Ole Miss.
Chance Campbell is going to basically spy on Max Johnson, and he's not going to get away from him.
Ole Miss will get the ball back. That's what they were hoping for when we come back. Yeah, we asked you the athletic trivia question a little bit earlier in the VCS college football era. 6 national titles for Alabama. Who's the second most? LSU. Gary had the answer. I should have let him do it right there. Apologize, pardon.
No, I wanted you to say my name.
Okay, that's good. Fair catch. Back at the 20 by Drummond.
3 different guys.
Nick, Les Miles, and 2 years ago, Ed Orgeron. What a difference 20 months can make. Ed goes from a national title and a Cinderella-type season of 15-0, a Heisman Trophy, the whole thing. And now he won't be back as head coach next year. But he's got his team playing hard here today, although they are now behind for the first time.
So how about Jeff Levy and Lane Kiffin on 3rd down? You know, we talked earlier 3rd and 4. That was curious. But they came back 3rd down and scored, got a holding penalty, came back 3rd down and ran again.
Right.
And got it down into goal line territory.
Ely had a touchdown call back, but he did have a 29-yard run that got him down close. This is Henry Parrish, who started the game at tailback. Run out by Micah Baskerville, the linebacker. So they push him out at the 24. 1 Ole Miss timeout remaining. Clock running down near the 2-minute mark. Another run on the inside. Baskerville and Clark, 2 linebackers, converge on the stop there. 3rd down and 4.
I think he was looking for that 1 first down before he'd open it up. Now 3rd and medium. He figures he's got a chance to throw to anybody. It's going to be a substitution here. Ole Miss substitutes late. They're going to allow LSU to, but no deal.
Corral throws on the run. Got it. Complete. First down. Jacour Pearson.
Yeah, now I think you'll see the whole package here. Got the first down. Feels better about the clock. Didn't want to give it back. On the run. A little bit of a pick. Nice rub. And they got it out to the outside.
And a first down at the 37 with a minute and a half to go.
Nice thing about the management of Matt Corral. It says he's rushed 5 times, but he's had 2 sacks. So he's only run the ball 3 times. They've managed him well.
Drummond is favorite target down to the bottom of your screen. Pearson in motion that way. And the handoff. No place to run here. Only a yard gain.
Still being patient.
The target line down on the other end would be the length of a field goal for Caden Costa. But we're almost to the 1-minute mark. Parrish remains in the backfield with Corral, who drops to throw and fires down the middle, and a strike to Drummond. Still running. And there's that target line. He's only 2 yards from it. First down.
What a nice throw, huh? Get in the middle of the field. You've got a quarterback with a great arm, a receiver you depend on, kind of crisscross, and perfectly placed ball.
27-yard pickup right back to the air for Corral to the outside. Knocked out of bounds around the 30 is Casey Kelly. There's still 44 seconds left.
And he's got a timeout in his pocket. He was very conservative, didn't want to give back the ball to LSU, wanted that one big play, and he got it.
They're in field goal range if it comes to that. Matt Corral wants more than 3. 2nd down and 4 at the 29. Battle that former defensive backs in the lineup as one of the wideouts down to the left side. Corral looking that way, fires and got it to him inside the 25. And the former DB making like a wideout, out of bounds at the 11.
That's a busted assignment by LSU. 2 players goes with the deep man. They just leave him outside. Watch LSU. Both of the players will go backwards. And they leave the easy throw with a lot of space.
Pickup of 18. Down to the 11. Back to the ground. Back to the edge. Parrish out of bounds at the 1. What a perfectly executed drive so far for the Rebels.
Did they get a horse collar on him that time? I think he got to the 1 as well. I don't know if he stepped out at the 3, they've got it. But I thought it was a horse collar.
That's where they do mark it. 2nd down and 2. They can get a first down inside the 1. Matt Corral does it himself. Touchdown, Rebels. You talk about doing everything right. The timeouts when they needed them, the stop when their defense needed it, and then the Heisman Trophy candidate when the offense needed it.
Yeah, I know this is one of those ones where you're willing to run it. I mean, you can get your team in position to win a game, and Lane managed it perfect, as Nux explained. Timeouts when he wanted, and he goes in at halftime with a 10-point lead.
Caden Costa's point after is good. 80 yards in 9 plays. 2 minutes to go the length of the field for a 10-point lead. "15 seconds remaining in the half. And Ole Miss, their last 3 possessions, a field goal, a touchdown, and moments ago, number 2 for another touchdown.
So it looked like this LSU defense had the game under control, and all of a sudden you go to halftime, and Ole Miss has got almost 250 yards of total offense on you.
This one will be returned by Trey Palmer. And he's not even going to get to the 20.
And it's been a nice way for Ole Miss to play. The goal line stand, the ability to run the ball, and when they got the ball in the 2-minute offense, they knew they could convert. Find some space, wait for the right play, get it down the middle, call the big run to Ely to the outside, and then if you're going to run your quarterback, if I'm going to run, I wouldn't mind getting a touchdown on it.
He fakes it.
He does.
After Parrish had the long run, he fakes it to Parrish, does it himself for the score. His 9th rushing touchdown of the year for Matt Corral. LSU will get the ball to start the second half. That's the good news for the Tigers.
Remember, this is a team that rushed for over 300 yards, and LSU has 72, and everybody thinks they can muscle Ole Miss. They did not.
That's the end of the first half. 17-7 for Jamie's halftime interview with Coach Kiffin. Go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. We're going to send you to New York. Adam Zucker and the guys in the New York studio for the Geico halftime report. Zucker.
All right, Ness, lots of festivities, of course, coming up from Oxford, and coming up here on the Geico halftime report, a busy day in the top 10, including a historic finish in not-so-happy Valley. We'll get you caught up after this word from your local station.
Third quarter to start shortly. Ole Miss leading LSU 17-7. And now, a taste of tradition presented by Sonic. Let's send it down to Jamie.
Brad, when you visit Oxford, it's no secret who stands alone as the first family of football. With a drive around campus, it's easy to see that the Manning legacy runs deep here. From the days of Archie's electrifying performances to his son Eli's record-setting seasons. Today, Eli Manning returns to the Grove as his number 10 becomes just the 3rd jersey retired in school history, joining Archie and the beloved Chucky Mullins. Moments ago, it became official.
Number 10, Eli Manning. Rebel fans, number 10.
Chose to come to Ole Miss, you knew that your dad's number was already here. There would be immense pressure on the legacy of your family name. Why did you end up coming here?
You know, I loved Ole Miss. I grew up a fan, came to games here, came to the Grove. I remember 35 years ago when they retired my dad's jersey, and
it was, I just felt it was the right place for me. David Cutcliffe was the head coach. He wanted me to come here and just felt that I could become a better player and have a great college experience and win some games here.
You just spoke during halftime about your number being next to your dad's and how much that will mean to you. But what was one of your best memories here when you played at Ole Miss?
Yeah, just so many of them, and obviously the friendships and the mentors or the coaches that I still talk to are the most important things. But beating Alabama here my sophomore year, the first time in 12 years we'd beaten Alabama on a 2-minute drive, to beat them was a special one. My whole senior year, just big games and winning games. Played LSU my senior year. We didn't come up with that win, but just had the same environment, the same environment that it has today, playing LSU, and the team's playing well, so it's fun to be here.
You looked up at that number, now that it's real, 10 next to 18. What did it feel like?
Yeah, just unbelievable. That was never the goal. I never really thought about that ever happening or being a reality. But just love my time here. I love being a player here. I love Oxford, love Ole Miss, and love coming back and being a fan and being a part of the program and rooting them on and supporting them. So, this is part of my family, and the Ole Miss family has been so great to me. So it's really an honor to be up there with my dad and Chucky Mullins.
Congratulations, Eli. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was great to see Eli out there with the family. There's the numbers. Chucky Mullins 38, Archie Manning's 18, and now Eli Manning's 10 that was just unveiled. And there's Arch back in the booth. And down there on the field at halftime, Abby, Eli's wife, has 3 girls with him. Ava, Lucy, and Caroline, and then his little boy, Charlie. So the whole family pretty much here. Cooper's here as well. It wasn't down on the field. And his son, a highly recruited quarterback, obviously, that a lot of people have talked about. And we'll start with LSU at the 25-yard line. Even though we had a chance to do it last night, we're fans too, so we had a chance to tell Eli congratulations, but just a great football player and a great guy.
You know what comes to mind is the Manning name. You can't tell the story of college football without mentioning the Mannings.
Right.
That's quite a statement.
Peyton at Tennessee, Eli and Archie here, of course, and now Ole Miss with back-to-back touchdowns on their last 2 drives have the lead. And Max Johnson, after starting really hot, has cooled off. And we'll see if they go back to the ground game, and they do in this case, for a short gain to Davis Price. And we'll see if the LSU ground game can pick up steam. They did it on their opening drive that went 90 yards for a touchdown, but they've been shut down pretty well since then.
Yeah, I remember a year ago in this game, they threw for over 450 yards, but 300 of them to Boutte, their receiver. Right. Not in the game, obviously injured. I think it's made a big difference. We talked to Ole Miss. They said it makes a big difference how you defend them without that superstar receiver.
Davis Price again will be about 3 yards shy of the first down. They'll bring up 3rd down in our first half trends. Matt Corral, 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground. Max Johnson started hot, as I mentioned, has cooled off, including that interception. Snoop Connor, 67 yards on 5 rushes. He's been a difference maker as well. Jerry Neely has gotten in the act on the ground for the Rebels.
The trend to me, though, is the Ole Miss defense has stood up.
Yep. Let's see if they stand up to this 3rd down. Johnson in trouble. Campbell closing and knocking him out of bounds with the football as well.
It was another one of those spy techniques. They brought 4. They brought 1 inside linebacker, but Chase Campbell just delays. He's just going to wait right here. They bring 35, and then he says, I'm coming off the edge. I'm going to make it tough. And he did.
And yesterday, Chris Partridge, the co-op defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, said number 44 brought a mentality with him about how to play defense, and it's permeated through the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, you felt around here that the defense wasn't proud of playing the way they did. And he said, no, we're going to play different this year. And today they are.
Great punt. Way back at the 24 is Drummond, and he gets back to the 33.
So the end of that half for LSU was a disaster. 3rd and long. They get it down, give up a touchdown, then go 3 and out. Boom.
Tonight at 7 Eastern over on CBS Sports Network, undefeated and 22nd ranked San Diego State's Aztecs look for their 7th straight win. They hit the road to take out Air Force. Be checking that one out on the iCruiser. There's the matchup tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network.
Big day for the academies today.
They all played.
Yep.
Did you tell me all played undefeated?
They all played undefeated, all at home. Great day.
Ole Miss just once defeated. Trying to keep pace in the SEC West. Matt Corral got it to Parrish in open space. And Parrish still going. Down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, this is an inside wheel from the running back. Right up the hash. Inside, not real wide. Cut inside, and he was wide open. Beautifully designed play.
Pick up of 35. Back to the ground. And it's Parrish to the 29-yard line.
All right, remember first quarter, the Ole Miss defense had to have a stop. They got him out of there. No field goal. Ed Orgeron goes for it on 4th down. Right now, the LSU defense needs to get a stop for them to get back in this football game. They've got to find a way to stop this Ole Miss offense right now.
Snoop Conner behind Corral. Going to be all wrapped up by Glenn Logan. Neil Farrell, excuse me.
Good start for them. Getting a play in the backfield. Logan, Farrell, the 2 inside veteran players. You know, when this team going into the season, you talked about this LSU defense. They were deep in the defensive line. They had a lot of veterans. Everybody said this is the group. They felt great about it.
On 3rd down, straight up the middle with power is Snoop Conner. 1st down.
3rd down runs. Hard to believe. Just almost like a quarterback draw, only to the halfback this time. Gashed him again. Running the ball in between the tackles has been the magic play for this. You know, last year, you think about Ole Miss, and it was, you know, both teams had over 500 yards in offense. But Ole Miss ran for over 300 yards. They've come back out here, started running again.
Snoop Conner doing the honors. Had a season-high 15 carries last week in the win over Tennessee. And he is lathered up today again.
Little sugar huddle, a little different look.
Conner down inside the 17. B.J. Ojolari made the hit.
He did. Number 8, the defensive end from the outside. He's a great pass rusher, but on this one he held on and made the play in the running game.
Snoop Conner right now is just saying, feed me. 2nd and 6. They do. The stiff arm outside made something out of nothing, and Ojolari's the guy that ran him out.
It's the biggest play of the game for LSU here. Their defense. Can they get off the field, forcing a field goal? Or a 4th down attempt, I guess.
Probably. At the 16. Conner, not this time. Nice job defensively by Jay Ward.
We're going to be about 4th and 3. I'm thinking if you're playing Lane Kiffin analytics, you're better off going for it than kicking a field goal and making it a 13-point game.
He loves trying to explain the analytics. Some people think he's crazy. Some people think it's awesome. It's 4th down. We know that.
I know this. He's only got 1 loss this year. He's doing something right.
And we had 5 4th down situations against Alabama. He'd probably like to have one of those back, maybe. 4th and 3. Corral all the way. Nope. Yes. And he got it to the 10. He faked as though he was going to throw late and then tucked it.
And there's nobody to throw to. It's a running play the whole way. It's going to be a run to the left. There's nobody to go to on the play. He fakes it. Smart play. That's something you just can't teach people. I mean, they didn't go over that. Like, hey, if it looks a little crowded, fake the pass.
And LSU doesn't know that there's nobody back there.
Absolutely. Yep.
At the 10, high snap bobble. Corral pulls it down, though, and got 5 out of it. Ooh, that could have been a disaster.
One thing to note with this drive right here since the first half, Caleb Warren is back in at right guard, and Umana's going to move back to center. They got their regular starting lineup back in the game.
Corral at the end of that play just got piled on. and they're still trying to unpile things. It's like as if the high snap wasn't bad enough, and the hit that I took, I didn't need another 600 pounds landing on me at the 5-yard line. At the 5, Parrish still driving, still going. It's a touchdown. A little help from his friends pushing the pile.
Sure was. Parrish is going to score, but without number 54 Warren helping from behind, pushing. Watch him get this. There's one push. The opposite side, Broker does a good job. Gets him into the ends. They should share that touchdown.
I hate that play.
Oh, well, it's not my favorite either, but it's the way they call it, and everybody does it.
That's right.
Ever since the Bush push, they're just letting it go now.
That's right. So 3 straight touchdown drives going back to the second quarter for Ole Miss. And that one was big. They're going to be up 24-7 if Costa hits this point after. And he does. What a drive on their first possession offensively in the third quarter. 66 yards in 10 plays. The last one, well, a bunch of Rebels helping Henry Parrish to the goal line. It's 24-7 and boom. Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Royal Caribbean, Sonic, Allstate, and by Smile Direct Club. A lot of smiles at Vaught Hemingway Stadium, and on the sidelines there is Matt Corral and company. Moving up in the career passing yardage list, Eli Manning, whose number was retired today, is the #1 guy. And Matt's led 3 straight touchdown drives for the Rebels, and they're up 24-7. Caden Costa to kick. LSU will start at the 25. Now it's time for our hometown connection presented by T-Mobile.
Brad, last year, Ole Miss cornerback Otis Reese approached his coaches to see if his high school friend and former teammate could walk onto the team. There was room for Mark Robinson, a running back who had played at Presbyterian College in Southeast Missouri. Robinson redshirted and spent 2020 on the bench. This spring, though, the defense was thin at linebacker. They moved him to linebacker, and he absolutely clicked at that position. He had never played defense before, and now he's starting today as a linebacker for Ole Miss. Quite the hometown connection between Reese from back at Leesburg, Georgia. Now they're on the same side of the ball together.
It's amazing. He had a huge game last week. 14 tackles, 2 sacks.
So after back-to-back, they finish the half with a 3-and-out. They start the half with 3-and-out, give up touchdowns after each one.
Johnson rolling to throw and got it complete. Nice pitch and catch. First down for Jeray Jenkins.
Jenkins has been coming on. He basically had to with the injuries. He's had last 2 games had 7 catches. So
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so he's coming on, you know, and but you have to. It's your turn. There's nobody else to throw to.
Keyshawn Boutte, as Gary said, their #1 guy and an NFL prospect injured. That would have been Johnson's main target, or anybody's target if you had him on your team. From the 49. Johnson on play action. This one slides off the back of his hand. Ball is loose. And it's covered by Ole Miss.
I think it was Cedric Johnson that got the ball coming from behind.
Springer's in the vicinity too, #1.
It is. It is. Cedric Johnson, #33. Reaches out. Oh, God, how turning that corner. Reaching out, laying out, and making that play. What a great play by Johnson.
Gene Steratore is with us.
Oh, that's going to be a call for fumble. There's no doubt about that one. That ball came
no
forward.
Question, guys.
Yep. Ball came
knocks
forward.
it out before the arm starts forward for sure, Gary. Yes.
That's what you would call an air ball.
Sportsmanlike conduct. Ole Miss number 7 for pulling a player off the pile. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced. It'll be first down, Ole Miss.
Jake Springer with the recovery. The penalties on Sam Williams. Right there, number 7, and there's Springer, number 1, who covered that ball. So the wheels are wobbling for LSU right now with turnovers and Ole Miss getting their offense in gear and now their defense part of the package. Here's the penalty on Williams for dragging bodies off his safety.
Not his job.
But the turnover chain goes to those two guys, the battery of Cedric Johnson and Jake Springer.
That's the second time in this game that a 3-man rush has produced that type of pressure on Max Johnson. And we saw it earlier with Robinson coming around the corner, number 95, and this time Johnson gets him.
So Matt Corral and his offense had scored 3 straight touchdowns. Back on the field.
Look at this little sugar huddle right next to the line of scrimmage. They can break it fast. LSU does not know where the eligible receivers are. Give them the last look. Hard to call a defense when it happens that fast.
Drummond in tight on the right side. He's had some big plays today and all season. And this is Ely. He got cartwheeled after a pickup of a couple, maybe 3. Clark, inside linebacker, along with Jones on the tackle. Pickup of 3. Second down at 7. Midway point of the third quarter. And 12th ranked Ole Miss 24-7. Pitch to Ely. Puts his head down and got into midfield. Jadarius Jones again in on the tackle. Bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, nice little running play. Get to the corner real quickly. Quick pitch to the outside. There's a stop.
And a good one.
Now you'll see how much Lane believes in this 4th down play. They're controlling the game 24/7. You go for it here and give LSU a short field if you don't make it. Defense is playing well.
And a man down for LSU is Micah Baskerville. So we'll find out about the 4th down as we check on Micah when we come back. Thursday, have you heard about the new hit comedy Ghosts? Critics call it frightfully funny, hilariously spooky, and false funniest. So prepare to be scared funny. Brand new episode of Ghosts. It's Thursday, 9/8 Central, right here on CBS. Baskerville turned his ankle, helping out on that tackle, was bent backwards.
Yeah, he's right here if you want to watch. He kind of gets bent. He's walking pretty good on the sideline, but you can see how he gets bent as the pile
does not go that way. Not supposed to go that way. So he's one of their starters on that defense for LSU. Meanwhile, 4th down and 2. And that's Mac Brown. We haven't seen a lot of him into punt. So Gary said we'll see if Coach Kiffin has faith on 4th down with the game in his pocket so far here in the 3rd quarter. And he does punt it away. And it's a good one, and it's a fair catch taken at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, last time he punted to the 5, this time to the 8.
So well done. Let's take a look right now at our GMC game changer.
They've done it. You know, last year they ran the ball, and they just continued no matter who it is. Snoop Connor, Henry Parrish, Jerrion Ely. They got 3 guys, all a bit different. And, you know, Matt Corral's not going to carry it 30 times, but just enough to keep it. And a lot of them, 2 big, huge 3rd down calls. You know, 1 3rd and 12 just on the last drive, and that one right before the end of the half.
There's 2 of those guys we talked about, Ely and Parrish. Snoop Connor has been their leading rusher. Corral's got a rushing touchdown. And now LSU, they've got to get something going on offense on this series. They flip it out, complete, and a good start to it by Malik Neighbors to get about 7.
Yeah, I think now they got to wonder, like, do we just keep trying to pound it? Or, you know, I mean, we want to run the ball, but maybe we can't. We just can't give them away any more possessions in this game.
Yeah. 23 yards in this quarter is all. That is 8 minutes. We're into 8 minutes. Johnson. Oh, that pocket's going the wrong way again. He just throws this one as far as he can to the LSU sideline.
Yep, he was outside the tackle box, though. Got it across the line of scrimmage. It'll be fine.
Got it across the whole team. Almost made it to the crowd.
They actually kept 6 blockers in, 7 blockers in, kept the tight end and the running back. So your quarterback's number 8. That means only 3 guys go out for a pass. Nothing there.
Only 2 of 7 on their third down conversions. Max Johnson trying to be heard with his offensive lineman. They're not going to get the first down. Davis Price swarmed under by the Ole Miss defense. Sam Williams, K.D. Hill and company.
Watch Chance Campbell, his value, calling out the defenses. Watch it. He's going to call the play. He's going to adjust everybody. He's got the right defense on at the right time. They take it on and make the play. Besides making tackles, making the right call is huge.
Avery Atkins has got a punt near his own goal line. Fair catch called for and taken around the 38 by Ontario Drummond. Just over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hard-hitting 109th edition of LSU and Ole Miss. Invesco brings you today's Scholar Athletes. Avery Atkins, who just hit that last punt for LSU, and Momo Sonogo for Ole Miss, the linebacker. Invesco proud to support student athletes on and off the field with a donation of $1,000 to LSU and Ole Miss's general scholarship funds. So they've scored every time they've had the ball the last 5 trips, 4 trips, and their defense doing its work, Gary.
Yeah, I think everybody the last couple of years, when even Lane was admitting that I don't know if we can stop anyone, all of his game plans was built around the fact that we have to outscore everybody we play. All of a sudden he's in a game where he says, I don't right now. I can punt if I have to.
Matt Corral down the middle on first down, completes it out to midfield. Nice pitch and catch, got it to Jaden Jackson.
This was a great job by Matt Corral. His play is designed to go up to the top. They're trying to fake a play here and go deep. It's covered well, so come back to your crossing route. He does it perfectly.
Back to the ground they go, and it's Connor again. Snoop Connor keeps his balance, and I think he got 10.
Hand the ball off, get outside. They've been successful running the ball. Almost every play they're dialing has been good. Another one.
This time just blasted up the middle of the 35 to pick up the first down. Baskerville, who was shaken up on that previous series, in on the tackle.
Got to give credit to that offensive line. They've managed around people being hurt right and left. Baskerville gave it a shot, as Ness told you, but it looks like it's a little bit worse than he thought.
Was involved in the last tackle, and the ankle hurting again. .420 remaining in the third quarter. A 17-point Ole Miss lead. And Ole Miss on the move again at the 34-yard line of the Tigers for the first down. Matt Corral changing things up. And the ball is loose. Might have
taken his eye off the snap. With all the calls being made, it's covered, though, by Ely.
So everything is going right. Timeout. Everybody talks it. Perfect snap and pops it right back.
And so they lose yardage on that one, but
yeah, he did look at him looking over to his left on the play. It's one of those things. Everybody does it. Every quarterback does it. You catch it out of the side of your eye and you read it at the same time.
so 2nd down and 15. Pearson. That's Drummond, the motion man. They flip it out to him. Lost his balance. Then got tagged pretty well, but he still picked up about 3 yards somehow.
It's one of the hidden parts of this quick hitting offense on these little short passes. You've got to hit your guys in stride. They're running away from you full speed. It's hard for them to turn. The ball's coming completely from behind them. Wasn't a perfect throw, and as Ness said, he stumbled and then he got tagged.
Drummond, little hitch in his giddy up as he trots out to the wide receiver spot on the bottom.
They've been running on 3rd down. Do they do it again?
3rd down and 12.
Yep. Ely. Nice move by Ely. Jerry and Ely. Touchdown, Ole Miss. They answered Gary's question with a yes on 3rd and long, a 36-yard touchdown run.
Orlando Umana, number 51, is now at right guard. Watch him turn his man. They've had to have substitutes all in. Watch him fight, and turn, and then make one guy miss. That's Ely. An elite player, also plays baseball, and he made the one guy in the hole miss for a touchdown.
Yeah, he hit a home run on that one.
Another 3rd down run.
And the extra point is good.
You got to believe it's part of their game plan that they were going to run the ball 3rd and long, and it's worked.
They might be moving their way into the top 10 here in a quarter or so after what happened today. Number 12, Ole Miss, 31-7. Jerry and Ely caps a 62-yard march in 6 plays, and on 3rd and long, Ole Miss with 3 different guys with rushing touchdowns. He just went 36 yards for the score. And they're partying on the sideline again. They were behind 7-0. Now they lead 31-7. Let's go back to the studio for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
All right, Ness, it's Kenny Pickett putting on a show against Clemson, the number 2 defense in the country. Over 200 passing yards in the first half. He's now got 23 touchdowns on the year, including that one on 4th down, just 1 interception. Meanwhile, Tanner Mordecai added to his nation-leading total Thursday night, and Caleb Williams, another big second-half rally to get Oklahoma past Kansas. Back to you.
All right, so thanks. Here, Matt Corral, a Heisman hopeful. His team in front 31-7. Corey Kiner in the backfield with Johnson now. Let's see if they just have to pass, and pass some more. He's looking to, fires far side, pick up out to the 30.
So Ness, you mentioned, 7-0 to 31-0. How do you do that? Well, the last 4 possessions for LSU, 3 3-and-outs and a fumble.
Yeah, it's not going to cut it. Looked like everything was going to go well today on the opening drive that went 90 yards for a score. Johnson down the middle throws a strike across the 40. That'll be a first down to Devontae Lee. Well, 2 years ago they won it all. Since then, 9-8. One of the worst records following a BCS or college football title through 17 games. And thus the reason that Ed Orgeron will finish out the season as head coach, but not be back next year in that capacity. Wow, that was a long throw, and he didn't hold it on the sideline. Was catchable. Max had to throw that a mile just to get it to the sideline. And he had Isaiah Eiton in his
face. He did, number 96. Good job. Brought an extra man from the outside. It's a 3-2-6 defense, but they're really aggressive with those strong safeties, making that 4th guy rush from the outside.
They look like a different team with Springer out there. I'd say that.
Everybody here is like amazed.
Connor. And he's wrapped up and dropped. And that was Sonogo, one of our scholar athletes. There he is, Momo. Another nice tackle.
For so long, as the coaches told us yesterday, the defense walked around here like they were embarrassed to be here. Yeah. Not anymore. They really feel part of the team. They're proud of the way they're playing. They know they're not elite yet, but they're way better than they were a year ago. Night and day, the coaches told us.
3rd and 7. Johnson. Look out behind you. The ball is out, and it's covered by Ole Miss again. Sam Williams with a hit from behind. Max Johnson didn't feel him coming.
Clock was going for a long time. Just a 3-man rush. Sam Williams, number 7, is going to eventually get there. So we saw 95 get there. We saw Cedric Johnson's 33 get there. Yep. And Williams was close before. He got him this time.
Cedric Johnson with a recovery, but Williams the guy with a hit. And the ball at the 43-yard line. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. And a short field for Matt Corral and company. Oh, mix up in the backfield there. Delayed handoff, but he got it to Ely, who got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yeah, it qualifies for mix-up. It looked to me like Matt Corral turned the wrong way on the play. He was supposed to fake left and hand off the other way, and he did it opposite.
2nd down, they had the same mix-up there. And Ely goes down for a loss.
Somebody's got to check those signs that they put up on the sideline. I think one of the signs is backwards.
Back-to-back bad connections. This is a mesh point you don't want.
Yeah, that's back-to-back. But you know how they hold up those signs all the time? I think they got them wrong.
Well, they can wait for that sign for the 4th quarter. The only sign going up is 4 fingers right now, as Matt Corral and his head coach will have time to talk it over. We played 3, 12th ranked Ole Miss at home in front of one of the largest crowds ever, leading 31-7. Eli Manning Day today with his jersey number 10 retired here at Vaughn Hemingway Stadium in Oxford in front of the 6th largest crowd in this stadium's history. 64,523 watching it on a beautiful sunshiny day. And another nice run by Matt Corral to open up the 4th quarter. Jamie Earldale's down on the field. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson up here. We're seeing a pretty good football team today.
Surprisingly, I thought, Ole Miss was even wondering, they knew they were going to run it.
Yep.
Can we stop it? They answered the 4th down stop, the goal line stand, and then the second half, 4 series, nothing.
LSU 4 possessions, 2 punts, 2 fumbles. Corral, short over the middle and a crossing route to Drummond, and he's upended by Jones.
He went for it on 4th down. I think he got it, though.
He didn't get it by much, but he got it. Unless he gets a terrible spot. They've already moved the chain, so it's 1st down.
Good protection that time. Plenty of time for Drummond to come across. Lays out.
Just enough.
1st down.
As you look in and you see the end zones painted Manning today for Eli. And we got a timeout. Just a minute into the 4th quarter. 31-7. Let's look at our Ally game recap. Matt Corral, 191 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Max Johnson, tough day. He looked really good early. And then Ely has come out in the second half, but the turnovers and the fumbles have really cost LSU that, and some punts. The last 4 possessions, 2 punts, 2 fumbles.
Yeah, and only 14 plays of basically almost all 3 and outs for the LSU offense.
The call on the field was a first down. It was challenged.
Confirmed, it's a first down for Ole Miss. LSU loses the timeout and has no further challenges for the game.
That's a wasted timeout if you ask me, but Ed Orgeron took a chance. If you think it's not Manning Day, this is my card to get in the hotel room. Look at the fresh-faced young man from New Orleans. And came to be a superstar here and in the NFL, and today his day with Chucky Mullins. His dad's number 18 and now Eli's number 10. Here's a run, and it's Parrish. Boy, they're just rolling up yardage on the ground now. There's a flag down.
Yeah, I think they called holding on Ole Miss on that play.
All 3 tailbacks have gotten in the act today. Ely, Snoop Connor, Henry Parrish.
Holding, offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
So they do pick up a holding call. If you're wondering about Eli, like how many yards did he have here? Over 10,000. Most in Ole Miss history. Touchdowns as well, 81.
Yeah, and just remember, different type of game back when Eli played.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I formation still. You threw the ball, but not like today. Now, you know, most quarterbacks are hitting. If you don't hit 65%, you're having a bad season.
That's right. Matt Corral sidearms it out, nice. Incomplete, intended for John Rice Plumlee, who was the quarterback a couple of years ago in this matchup.
Ran for over 200 yards in this game a couple of years ago under Rich Rodriguez's offense, and this time does a good job of saving the play.
So second down at 20. Ely in the backfield with Corral. Gets the carry, and all wrapped up by Neil Farrell on the inside. But of course, LSU having lost a timeout, down to 2. And you'd think at this point that you might want to say to Ole Miss, well, let's just slow things down. And Lane Kiffin told us yesterday, we tried that against Tennessee. You know what? Our offense isn't made that way. We can't slow this thing down and keep the engine running.
Right, doesn't work, he said. Well, there you go.
It's like a false start on the left side of the line for Ole Miss.
False start, offense, number 79, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
And these guys have been together a lot of different places, as Jamie talked about earlier. The Tennessee staff, that was only 1 year before Lane took off out of Knoxville and on to USC. There they are together. The more teams, Gary said yesterday, the more teams they were together, the closer they got in the pictures.
The picture got closer.
And here they are today in the split screen. One having a weird week, and one's having a great Saturday right now.
I don't know if Friends captures it enough. I think that they respect each other the most. They respect the way they coach, recruit, and everything.
Corral hitting the backfield. Now he's going to dive down to the 40 as we check in with Jamie.
How about the wonderful story we heard from Ed Orgeron yesterday? Lane Kiffin was so complimentary of him being such a high-energy recruiting guy. Well, Lane got in trouble, essentially. He wanted to get Fred Davis, 2004, from Toledo High School to L.A. to get him to USC, but he just couldn't get the kid on the plane because they needed his resume, his coming out of high school. So what did he do? He called his old buddy Ed Orgeron. The two of them are at the door of locked high school doors, pounding on the doors. A janitor comes in, calls a counselor, they get the kid's resume and the transcript, and they get it to USC, and off goes Fred Davis on the plane to become a tight end at USC. Oh, and he won a casual John Mackey Award while he was there.
That was a great story, and you told it perfectly. I don't know if I could have put that together like Ed was telling us yesterday, and that was in a snowstorm in Cleveland, and he said, you know, here we are, pounding on the door. If it wouldn't have been for that janitor, we never would have got our tight end.
Right. And snowstorm in Cleveland at that time of the year is not that hard to believe.
No, that's true.
Brought some
would have been hard to believe if it was at USC.
Reality to the story.
So Mac Brown a punt. End over end job that he hopes will land inside the 10. It does, but it made it to the end zone.
You hope your guys will go down there and catch that ball like that.
They had enough of them down there. They just couldn't corral it. With 12 minutes remaining with a flag down on that play as well. They're going to pick up the flag, and we're going to pick up a timeout here. 12:05 to go. Ole Miss 31-7. Depot, SEC on CBS, is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings, Grand Wagoneer, State Farm, and by Coors Light. Ole Miss on third down today has been something, Garrett.
Yeah, remarkable. You think that the Heisman Trophy quarterback they'd be throwing, but they found something and it worked all day. 3 big plays on third down. That one before the end of the half followed a touchdown. They come right back with it to Stu Connor. The first one was Jerry and Ely, and then they come right back again to Ely on a touchdown play. 3rd and 19, 3rd and 12, and 3rd and 12. Big plays running the ball against LSU.
And a new quarterback in for LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, will take the controls and throws out in the flat, complete to Besh, the tight end, who got about 9. So Garrett Nussmeier, who he'd known his daddy for a long time, son of Doug Nussmeier, the Cowboys quarterback coach, Lake Charles, Louisiana. So the day is done for Max Johnson, apparently. Nussmeier's completed now 5 of 15 passes in spot duty this year. On the ground to Kiner, who got the first down.
So when his father was offensive coordinator at Florida, he would go out to practice and Doug would be coaching, and then off to the side Garrett would be throwing.
Yeah.
He was like 12 or 13 years old, and he's kind of like a gym rat out there throwing the ball around.
He's getting a chance to throw it around here in the last 11 minutes now. And he's going to go long on this one, and a nice throw it is. Did he get it in bounds? Devontae Lee. And it's going to come back incomplete.
Good coverage to the outside. Jones is on him. Jalen Jones fights the ball, and even if he caught it, he was out of bounds.
And he ran out of real estate.
But good coverage. Stay in there, fight all the way, turn into the receiver, and keep your hand in there.
You saw the right foot land out of bounds. So it's 2nd down and 10. Nussmeier throws high this time, and is it intercepted?
It looked to me like it skipped.
I thought it did.
Happened.
It was Kedron Smith. And nice acting job by Kedron. That's a good job.
Max gotten roughed up a little bit, sacked a few times. Remember, we even pointed out even the ones he was throwing early, he was getting hit hard on.
Completed one long ball with a guy right in his chest. That was one of his best throws of the day. That was early in the first quarter. Just 2 of 9 on third down conversions. They'll have to get all of this one. 3rd down and 10. 3-man rush. Nussmeier throws quick. Got it to his tight end, and he got the first down.
What a play. True freshman Josh Best right there. Jack Best, excuse me. Throw the underneath. You know, a lot of times you throw it and you go, okay, what was that? 8 yards, who cares? But good athlete makes the first down.
Besh, freshman out of St. Thomas More in Lafayette, Louisiana. Nussmeier, deep ball, sideline, nice throw. And Jontre Kirkland with the first down.
I think Dean Leonard, number 24, was playing zone. I thought he felt he had this. Watch him jam and reach out, and not enough vertical. What a throw.
23-yard pickup. They have a flag down.
Illegal substitution, defense. 12 players on the field at the snap. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And the result of the play, a 23-yard pickup to the 34. You know, after the early penalties by Ole Miss, Gary, in the first quarter, they kind of did away with that problem.
They did.
Nussmeier, plenty of time to throw. Going long to the end zone, too long. Trey Palmer, the intended receiver.
Talking to Jake Peets, the offensive coordinator, about Nussmeier. He says, he's a gunslinger. I'll tell you that. He'll come out and he'll let her fly.
Nice cut inside the 30 to the 29. Trey Washington made the tackle. And we're down to the 10-minute mark remaining in the ballgame. At the 29, 3rd and 5. Kiner got the first down. Jones made the tackle. Well, with Coach Orgeron, the remaining schedule a bye, and then Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana Monroe, and Texas A&M on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, and the SEC West, you're always coming up with another big game.
Yep. And he said, I'm going to fight to the end. They're trying to fight here in the fourth quarter, but they're on the short end by 24. Next Saturday, the SEC on CBS heads down to Jacksonville. Top-ranked Georgia takes on the Florida Gators. We'll get the day started at 2:30 Eastern with a drive to Atlanta presented by Mercedes-Benz, followed by the State Farm College football today, next Saturday, SEC on CBS.
That's a game not 100% sure which quarterback's going to start for either game.
JT Daniels or Stetson Bennett or the other two on Florida's side. Jalen Jones, who's a little bit banged up coming into this game, was the guy shaken up on the last play. And it looks like his day might be done and headed to the locker room. Meanwhile, LSU has picked up 4 first downs on this drive. 16 for the game. Garrett Nussmeier in at quarterback in relief of Max Johnson. And Corey Kiner running hard. This guy looks good.
Freshman Corey Kiner, remember those good recruiting classes that LSU has strung together 4 in a row. Kiner is one of those guys. And nobody says anybody's too short to play running back after Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
That's for sure.
Right? Who cares how tall you are when you're running the ball?
Had over 7,000 rushing yards in his high school career. Having a good showing here today. Nussmeier heading to the sideline. Throws late and throws it away. It'll bring up second down at 10.
We've known Garrett's father, Doug Nussmeier, for a long time. One of the great attributes he's brought has been able to scout quarterbacks. Remember, he's the one who brought in Kyle Trask from a camp. Nobody wanted him. He brought in Kyle. Saw something in him.
That worked out pretty well.
It worked out really well.
Low snap. He gets it to Kiner, and Kiner no gain on this play. Jones in on the stop. Number 35, Robinson, I beg your pardon, Mark Robinson.
So not only did he teach his son how to play quarterback, he can recognize pretty good quarterbacks from around the high school ranks. It's a matter of pride now for this LSU defense. They look up there and say a 7, and they want to keep LSU. This Ole Miss defense wants to keep LSU out of the end zone badly.
3rd down and 10. Extra man coming, and it's going to get to Nussmeier. They drop him on the sack back at the 30-yard line. Tavius Robinson is the guy that'll get credit for it, but he had some help from his friends.
Yeah, I think a nice blitz package that time coming off the right side of the slot. Coming from this right side, right into here, just into the picture right now. Makes the tackle. It's actually Keldron Smith that was the blitzer, and then Robinson cleans it up.
And so now at 4th down and 26, as Gary said, the pride factor of the Rebels defense is going to bring a 3-man rush unless they bring somebody late. And LSU is going to call a timeout. Midway point of the 4th quarter. Garrett Nussmeier have a chance to go over and talk on the sidelines about what do we come up with on 4th down and 26. We take a look at some of the great shots today from our AT&T 5G pylon cam. It's been very helpful in giving us some of those great pictures.
Smart place to put a camera. A lot of things happen on the goal line right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Whoever thought of that?
Somebody tried to take one of our pylon cams the other day.
Chased him down, our crew. We got a veteran crew and chased him right down. Talking about Ole Miss a little bit, take the pride here. Ole Miss had an early bye this year. This is their 4th straight game of 9 in a row. They'll finish the season out next week at Auburn.
And now they decided they're going to go for the field goal. Last time held to single-digit points, you can see, is a long time ago. And now Cade York will try a 47-yard field goal. He missed a 55-yarder earlier in the game. He didn't miss that one. Cade York from 47 cuts into the lead a little bit at the midway point of the 4th quarter. 31-10 Rebels.
I think there was a little stuff happening after the field goal kick that time. Late flag, dead ball foul, I believe.
If it's not a dead ball foul, it could change what the plan is.
It's called a dead ball huddle right here. Very interesting huddle they have a lot of times.
They're all there. Yep. Almost all of them.
Right.
After the play, personal foul, Ole Miss number 7. Personal foul, LSU number 75. Those penalties offset. The try is good. Timeout.
Second time Sam Williams has been mixing it up with somebody.
That was a lot of huddle for that, I'll tell you that.
We're going to take our break anyway.
Adam Zucker with his Jeep update. 4th quarter in Ames, and like 10 years ago, Iowa State trying to spoil Oklahoma State's perfect season. Breece Hall putting the Cyclones on top. His Big 12 record, 19th straight game with a touchdown. They have a 3-point lead with 4.5 to go. Ness and Gary, back to you.
All right, Adam, thanks. Here it's 31-10. The way things have fallen today, I would think Ole Miss is a top 10 team on
I would
Sunday
think so, yeah. Penn State losing, right, the way it's happened. Yes, I think so. Great job by Lane Kiffin. Had a vision of how he could run his offense, kind of got it going at FAU, learned a lot about how to, be a head coach there again, kind of, a rebirth for him.
Right.
He kind of admitted to us in the meeting that, maybe I got it a little too soon and I had to learn how to be a good head coach, and worked hard at it. Looks like he's got it in the right direction here.
Stafford with the onside kick, and it's covered by Ole Miss. Good job by the Good Hands team up front. Don't forget, later in the game, before we're done, play of the game presented by Jersey Mike's Sub. So the guy that we said solidified the defense with his return last week and especially today, Jake Springer, comes up with the onside kick recovery.
It was an interesting story talking to the coaches about last year with, as Ness told you, these two guys, Robinson and Stringer, were scout team, and they were going, they're better than anybody we got on the regular team here. And they brought a new sense. Those two and Campbell have kind of changed the vision of this defense and the pride they have on the field. It's changed a lot.
It's really changed since we saw him earlier this year. Corral in trouble. Now fires late across the middle, incomplete. And they're looking for a flag and don't get one.
As you said, it's changed since we saw them. That was 42 points they gave up against Alabama. Then Arkansas put 51 on them. And then the last two games, Tennessee 26 and now 10 today.
Yep. And even the Arkansas game, and Lane Kiffin said at the end of the game, hey, they just didn't get the 2-point conversion, so don't give us a lot of credit for that.
Could have been 52. He said, it was a winning coach, but I really wasn't just so happy.
Right.
It should have been, he goes like that.
And here's a little
Nice
flip to Drummond, and he's got a first down. That goes as a pass completion. So give Matt Corral 12 more yards in the air.
I wish we'd have known these were pass completions back in the day. I'll tell you that right now. We knew that.
You'd given it to Slaughter and those guys, right?
What do you mean handoff? No, just stay away from me. I'm just going to flip it to you.
So relatively modest numbers for Matt. 16 out of 21, 168 and a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown. Here's the same play coming the other way. Same result. And Drummond dropped at the 20-yard line.
That often happens in the hurry-up offense. The Baylor offense that Jeff Levy brought with him here to Ole Miss. When you're going fast, you repeat plays. You just flop them to the other side. And right now, this LSU defense is looking at the clock more than Ness is right now.
It's 6.5 to go.
You're right. You're looking at the clock.
Connor back in there. And here's Snoop, who's been a big part of this offense today, and he's got about 7 or 8 more. Snoop's got to be getting close to 100. Well, he's at it now. 4th 100-yard game. Last week, had 2 touchdowns, multiple touchdowns in 2 straight games, and now a 100-yard game here today. And looking to add to it, and he does. Connor, did he get there? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Rebels.
He has the ball in his right hand, but he kind of turns and stretches it towards the pylon. Did not step. Oh, the ball came loose.
Ball came out.
Yeah, the ball came out. This may be a touchback. Yep.
I didn't see that at the end. I just was admiring the effort.
This is going to be called back, I believe, and be a touchback to the 20-yard line.
Gene Steratore with us. Gino, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the fumble, guys. And I also agree a touchback. What I was looking at to see where did the ball cross the goal line. If it would have been outside of the pylon, then we would have a fumble out of bounds, return back to the spot of the fumble. This ball appears to definitely is loose inside the pylon, which puts it in the end zone. The result of the play will be a touchback, and LSU will start from the 20-yard line.
Replay official Stan Murray. We'll see if he sees it the same way we did. So
I think
Jason Autry will go over and get under the hood.
I think it was Clark, number 18, that caused the fumble on the play right at the end of it.
He causes a lot of havoc on their defense. He's their top player, probably. Top tackler, anyway. So Snoop Connor's got to wait to see what the replay officials tell us as we get another look. And you're right, Gary.
Yeah, he did not step out either, so fumble all the way in my mind. I got Gene on my side, too. I'm feeling good about this.
I'm on your side, too.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps.
3-0.
Gene helps you a lot more than I do. So the big day would have been capped by the touchdown run, but it looks like that's not going to be the case.
You can almost read the body language of the Ole Miss players. They watch the replay on the screen, and I think they know.
Yeah, they're not twirling towels and stuff down there right now like they have been. Remember, the call on the field was touchdown by the field judge, but the play was coming right at him, and he had to basically backpedal. And here's a split screen of what we see, and the ball was coming out right there. It's almost like he was slam dunking the basketball, trying to get it in the end zone. And we're about to get our call. We think it's going to stay 31-10. Here it is.
After video review, the runner lost possession prior to breaking the goal line. The ball hit in the end zone, then went out of bounds. By rule, result of play is a touchback. First down, LSU.
So the Tigers get the ball back, erase that last 6 that we put up there, go back to 31-10. So LSU will take it at the 20-yard line. Remaining undefeated teams, you ask. Georgia was idle. They'll play Florida and Jacksonville next week. We'll be there. Cincinnati 7-0. Oklahoma survives.
They both had to earn it today, didn't they? Cincinnati fought at least for 3 quarters.
So there's not a lot of them left. We'll see one of them next week, the #1 team in the country. Nussmeier throws quick to the outside, and first down toss, pickup of 11 to Jeray Jenkins. Well, Garrett's looked pretty good coming in here.
He has. You can tell the skill he's had. Definitely a 4-star quarterback. Big get for LSU. Never have enough quarterbacks.
Nope.
They leave every weekend. They're looking for another place to go.
Scrambles around, flags down, going to have a holding call, I think, as he delivers the pass to his tight end, Jack Besh.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can limit it to 2 guys. Dellinger and Ingram, I think 72 and 70. I think they could call it on either one of the 2.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 17.
Okay.
The 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. Results in a first down.
Well, we shouldn't have guessed.
Well, that's what we do. What do you mean you shouldn't?
Damon Clowney.
He's right here. He's on.
Yeah, it's pretty much a hand to the face.
Yep, it was. He paid for it, too.
He sure did. It's like, man, don't call a penalty on me.
Not only 15 yards, but
he got buried.
Holy cow, now we're going to have another review. Did he catch the ball?
I thought Besh had it.
Up in the air.
Oh, that's beautiful, if you ask me.
I think his left toe got down.
It's a heck of a play. There you saw the flag fly in and then Besh fly out. I think that's
the only possibility is, was he going backwards? Because if he's going backwards, he's got to get his heel down too. It's the only thing I could see. But to me, he's going forward enough to catch the ball that it's not just going backwards.
It was a ballerina act on the sideline for sure. Gene Steratore. Gene, come on in with us again.
Just a great toe tap, and as Gary was saying, it wasn't a toe heel type play where the natural step takes the whole foot, begins with the toe, and then blends in to have the heel involved. If that were the case, the entire foot would have to be in. This is just an amazing job of that's a textbook toe tap. Holds on possession throughout the fall. You can see the official that comes in starts to point at the foot, because he's looking at the feet and doesn't really see if that player maintains possession as he falls. But he's got a great look, looks at the ball, sees the toe, and comes in and makes a great call. And it's a great catch on the sideline.
This kid's got a bright future.
Sure does.
The present isn't too bad. Well, we've discussed it all we can and what we think. But it's going to be up to Stan Murray to tell Jason Autry, and Autry likewise, back and forth. Completed pass was the call on the field.
After video review, the ruling of the catch is confirmed. First down, LSU.
And the penalty. So that's going to move it on into Rebel territory, actually, to 47-yard line. Matt Corral warming up left-handed. Not sure why, but why not? As we approach 5 minutes, LSU trying to get more points here. On the ground, Davis Price down to the 42. Ty Davis Price had back-to-back huge weeks against Kentucky and Florida. And today, not so much. And credit the Ole Miss defense for that. But he did get 5 more there. Second down at 5.
I'd be surprised if they run it much now. You got to throw the ball here, don't you?
And they're throwing it deep. And up, and
he caught it.
He did.
Yes, he did.
At the 9-yard line, Brian Thomas. Second time that Nussmeier's gone down that sideline, and one, there wasn't enough room to make the catch. This one, just enough.
Well, you can't cover it any better than that for Leonard. The ball was just going up, and I think, did Thomas get his left foot in before his right foot, though? His right toe was out, but I think he got his left foot in first.
Oh, boy.
We're going to get another one. You know, I mean, game's not over. I don't blame him. You know, I'm LSU. I want him checking this.
Touchdown here, and things get interesting. It's a 33-yard pickup if it stands.
Does his left toe come down first? I think he does.
It does.
It does, yep. Left toe comes down first, pretty sure.
And even the right one was just a little bit of a cleat where the chalk came up. But watch the left foot, as Gary was talking about. It is down right there, and there's the right landing second. And a beautiful effort, and to get that at the highest point, just the athleticism of Thomas to get up there over the top, as you said, of Leonard. Gene Steratore, why don't you just come and hang out with us at the Grove and be part of the party?
You know, I'm enjoying these last 3 or 4 minutes with you guys.
After video
truthfully,
review,
Brad, I'm really enjoying Gary's explanations. He's just nailing them every time right now. It's a left and right. Excellent work.
It's going to be my second career, Gene. We're going.
Oh my God! Please.
What would it be my third career?
I don't know. You're running out of careers. Right. You know that.
There's a lot of time left, Gary. A lot of time left.
And there's 4:21 left in this thing. So here we go.
Yeah, that not scoring that touchdown is, you know, if I was playing for LSU, I'd say, hey, not over.
First and goal at the 9. Nussmeier's added a little spark that they didn't have earlier. Go to the back of the end zone. That's too high, incomplete.
He got away with one there. He did not see Leonard if it wasn't been high. And I'll tell you, this Garrett Nussmeier's got a gun throwing the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Crossing routes, 2 inside receivers crossing, and he does not see Leonard on the play. Leonard gets knocked down from behind. He goes, "What's the deal? I had that." Intercepted.
Right now, LSU's thinking touchdown, onside kick again. First, they got to get in the end zone.
Nobody comes.
Nussmeier, plenty of time, throws and got it. Touchdown LSU as he throws it to Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody talks about having a big arm, how far you can throw it, but it's how fast you can hit these open windows is what's most important. Getting that ball rocketed in there in between those little bit of zones, that's what the big arm really happens. Now watch it from behind. It's crowded, and you have to gut it in that spot, and he does.
That was a porthole window right there.
Yes, it was. Has to be accurate and hard.
A happy quarterback in relief duty comes up limping a little bit after that strike that he just threw.
And as we saw from Max Johnson, you got to be able to throw with people in your face and your feet too. Ooh, right on his toe. Did somebody step on it?
They went 80 yards in 2 minutes.
He ain't coming out with a toe. I'll tell you that right now. It's too hard to get on the field, let alone come off with a toe.
That's right. Cade York for the point after. Up and good.
You get the hands team out if you're LSU because they're going to run onside kick, and Ole Miss is going to have the onside kick return team out there.
How about the freshmen on that drive? Besh and Thomas. Nussmeier with the touchdown, and it's 31-17.
Dear College Sports.
Now Garrett Nussmeier engineers an 80-yard drive in just 2 minutes. And his 6th play is a strike to Malik Neighbors to cut the game to 31-17.
Well, as you mentioned, Ness, I mean, won't see where this game's obviously not over yet. Only 14 points on an onside kick available. But talent sitting there. 3 true freshmen on the field making plays.
Springer recovered the last onside kick attempt. This one bounces high and is covered by the #1 receiver, Ontario Drummond. You know, the right guys in the right spots. And Ole Miss will have it with 3:54 to play.
Well, remember, you mentioned that ill-advised challenge. No, that took a timeout, and they need it now.
Coming up after our game, Adam, Rick, and BJ with the day's best highlights on the College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Matt Corral today, if you're just joining us, did a little bit of everything. Not a big numbers day throwing the football, but this was an easy pitch and catch for his touchdown pass. And then when they got down close, he called his own number and pulled his way into the end zone for the score. And that one was a nifty play to get a first down as he faked a pass when there was really nobody to pass to. So he's done a little bit of everything, and now he just flips it to Rice Plumlee, and he gets it into LSU territory at the 49. Jamie?
Yeah, Matt's been busy as you see him trot off here. He's really tried to keep his body warmed up and prepared all day today. He was sore throughout practice this week, as Lane Kiffin told the media, and I will tell you, more so than I see other quarterbacks, he really tried to keep his body moving every time the defense was on the field. As you can see, he just doesn't look as he's carrying himself 100%, but he never was tended to by any of the medical people for the team, and he really wanted to stay in this game, but he just doesn't quite look like himself, does he?
Jamie, it looks like his ankle is bothering him more than anything
stiff.
right now.
He just looked a little stiff.
Wisely hands it off to Parrish, who backs up for a first down. And now we're going to be under 3 minutes. A little blood. Rub some dirt on it. He is one tough dude. I mean, we talked about the fact that he's not that big.
But when you go 9 games in a row and you're the leading ball carrier in attempts on a team, this is a game he needed to get through healthy. Got Auburn coming up next. Very physical football team.
Yep. As you said, keep him upright and keep him healthy. And don't run him 30 times, which they never wanted to do in the first place last week. And now he gives it off to Rice Plumlee again. The Ole Miss schedule, Gary was just mentioning this. It's a gauntlet now. They're going to get by LSU, it appears, and go to 6-1. But then it's Auburn, and then Liberty, A&M, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and the Egg Bowl. And LSU's used its final timeout with 2:23 to go. And again, Matt Corral kind of limping as he comes over to talk with Lane Kiffin. Ed Orgeron was hoping that his team played as spirit-filled as they did in the win over Florida last week. I don't think it's that they didn't play as hard as they possibly can for this guy. It's just not going to work out, it doesn't appear.
I think Ed's philosophy is great, though. You know, he stepped into the big stage. He knew that you got to coach big time. It's a big-time job. They're paying you big time. And everybody says, oh, you know, should have given more and more. You know, he understood. Hey, that's LSU. You don't win, you can get benched.
He said he knew as soon as the Kentucky game was over that his time was probably going to be over as well. And, of course, the magical season of 2019 led by so many guys that are playing in the NFL, including the Heisman Trophy winner Joe Burrow, who said, I wouldn't be here without Coach O. I'm forever indebted to him. And that's for sure. Joe came over as a transfer from Ohio State, became a star. Their offense was as good as anything we've ever seen, and we did a lot of their games 2 years ago.
Sure did.
And then this guy, you know, we enjoy being around him. He's a fun guy to be around. And we'll miss some of the stories and all of that next year.
Made a couple mistakes. You know, the Bo Pelini hire did not work out. And you know, that happens. When you make those mistakes on defense of your coordinator jobs, losing Joe Brady was tough for him to fill. And he's recruited well. He will get a job again because he can recruit.
So they're out of timeouts.
Might not be a head coaching job, but he'll get a job again.
Ole Miss on their way to 6-1, and their fans appreciating it here on Eli Manning Day. And a standing ovation from the 6th largest crowd in Vaught-Hemingway Stadium history. Part of it to see Eli, part of it to see this guy, maybe more importantly to see a really good football team, because they are. And, of course, the party that goes around this place. They lose an occasional game, but they have never lost a party in this town.
Rumors are it's pretty good, right?
That's right. Now it's time for our play of the game presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. And this one was pretty special. Jerry and Ely, a little move there, a little shake, a little bake at the 32, and then he said, I'll see you guys later. And David Kellum, this is how he called it for the Ole Miss Radio Network.
3rd and 12 from the LSU 36. There's the snap. Fake to Ely. Actually handed to Ely. Ely makes one man miss. Makes another one miss. He's to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Carry me to the end zone, boys. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
And a guy that makes a difference when he's healthy, number 9.
Sure does. Preseason All-SC running back for a reason.
86 yards on his 10 carries today, including that electrifying touchdown. Here he is on the pitch. He'll want to stay in bounds if possible and get the first down. Well, he got the first down. And
doesn't matter. It was 4th down, and he got it, and game's over. They're going to take a knee.
Yep. That's a way to cap it off after we just talked about his play of the game touchdown run. Another play of the game that got him near 100 yards on the ground and on the day.
Pretty cool job right now. They're going to bring in backup quarterback and take Matt Corral off the field and give him a little bit of a hand, I think.
You saw Lane and his quarterback, who have a really special relationship. Lane says, I don't know, he's just like a friend who's a lot younger than me.
Yeah, right.
And Kincaid Dent. That will just about do the final snap, should be. And here's what I was talking about. Good job, Matt, and a good job, Coach Kiffin. First win against LSU in 6 years. Impressive win for the Rebels. And now the guys, as Gary said, that respect each other so much and have been together in so many different stops. And one's head coaching career is going to stop at LSU when it's over. And Lane Kiffin, his star continues its rise with a guy like that at quarterback.
Yeah, great respect Lane has for he almost didn't want to act happy in front of Coach O.
31-17 is the final. As Matt Corral's making his way over to Jamie, here's the updated standings. Alabama's got a date 3rd Saturday of October with Tennessee tonight. That game might be starting right now, I guess. Ole Miss, though, keeping pace. They're 6-1. So's Alabama, both 3-1 in the SEC West. And that's what's all important. Let's check in with Jamie.
Matt, you ran the ball 30 times last week. You looked a little stiff today. How much of a battle was it out there?
You know, it wasn't until the shot wore off. But, no, it was good. It was good. A lot of people did what they had to do to get this win. You know, a lot of people stepped up, defensively stepped up, running back room, O-line. Second, you know, there's some guys banged up on the O-line, had to get some rotation, and they stepped up. That is all for that. That is all them.
Especially as a quarterback. On a day like today, was there extra buzz at being Eli Manning Day?
No, but it was definitely cool to have him in our presence, definitely.
You had a moment with your coach there at the end. What does Lane say to you after a win like that?
You know, he wanted the dramatic finishing of me limping off, but I didn't want that.
Hey, it was good for TV.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations. Go get better.
Thank you.
And Lane, being the producer, too, wanted a dramatic finish. His quarterback says he would have just as soon stayed on the field for the final 2 snaps. But a big win at home for the Rebels. 31-17 is the final. For Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, Gene Steratore, and our entire CBS crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Oxford. 31-17, the final on Eli Day. We'll get you back to Adam Zucker and company for the college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage right after these messages. Big win for the Rebels at home. So long now from Oxford. See you in Jacksonville next Saturday.